answer the super question. How many letters are there in the German alphabet? 215-263 WMMR. 'Tis Joseph we speak to. Hi, Joseph. Good morning.
Preston, Steve, 30 letters?
Yes, that is correct. Yes, absolutely.
He's going to serve a subpoena.
Very direct answer and a correct one at that. So, Joseph, hang on the line. We'll get your info, and we're going to set you up with the $50 Metro Diner gift card. And don't forget, burger connoisseurs, take a bite out of Metro Diner's new burger lineup, a trio of 100% Angus burgers featuring a barbecue bacon burger, a black and blue burger, and a pimento cheeseburger. Available now through July 4th. You can visit metrodiner.com. We have a lot of things to get to, so I'm going to dive right into it.
Do it.
Drew Barrymore took to Instagram yesterday, and we have audio of this to clarify the comments that she made about her mother in a recent profile for Vulture. We talked about this yesterday, and it sounded like she couldn't wait till her mother was dead, right?
Yes, that's what it sounded like.
But she said, I have been vulnerable and tried to figure out a very difficult, painful relationship while admitting it is difficult to do while a parent is alive. And for those of us who have had to figure that out in real time, cannot wait, as in they cannot wait for the time, not that their parent is dead. So this is her saying that, and this is the statement she made.
To all you tabloids out there, how dare you put those words in my mouth? I have been vulnerable and tried to figure out a very difficult, painful relationship while admitting it is difficult to do while a parent is alive, and that for those of us who have to figure that out in real time, cannot wait, as in they cannot wait for the time, not that the parent is dead. Don't twist my words around or ever say that I wish my mother was dead.
Okay.
So wait, I still don't understand. So she's saying that she can't wait for the time to be able to figure out the relationship with her mother?
That's it. That's what I got from it, is that she cannot wait for that time when she eventually is able to figure out exactly what are the dynamics of her relationship with her mother.
Yeah.
And so in a way, you could understand why someone might think she's saying, oh, she's eager for mom to die.
Yeah.
So
Well, she said the words, I can't wait till she's gone.
Yeah.
Essentially. So what the hell does that mean? I don't know. And
I
listen,
think we should release a statement.
maybe we should.
I'd like to apologize.
We should
Jennifer
start
Garner.
releasing statements to see what happens if they go anywhere.
I'd like to apologize to Jennifer
Here's our
Garner
statement.
and her pool boy, Ben Affleck, for incorporating them into my fantasy life.
That's our
I
statement.
apologize to anyone who's been
Apologize.
offended by my fictional creations, Chris Lagan, the philosopher of evil, and the skull
I think we could send it off to Drew, see what she says, Kathy.
Al Pacino.
I'm irrelevant!
Commented on the news that he's expecting a baby with his 29-year-old girlfriend at Noor Al-Fala. In a video obtained by the Daily Mail, he said it's very special. It has always... Can't
you give me a straight answer anymore?
It always has been. I've got many kids, but this is really special coming at this time.
So this is special after the paternity test.
Yeah, this will be his fourth.
This is so special!
His fourth
I'm
one.
irrelevant! Oh, my... I
83.
love him to death, but if you see him these days,
Yeah.
imagine that crawling its way up on top of you.
Well, not only that. I mean, just to be the father.
Yeah.
To be a father at that age that's just...
He'll be 93 and the kid will be 10.
Someone else is going to have to be a
That's
father
it.
figure.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
How about
As
De Niro?
As the kid grows up. Yeah, bring him
What's he
in.
doing?
Why not? I don't know.
The kids can play together.
Is he available?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole living cast of The Godfather should be raise the child communally.
Yeah.
You blow it!
All right, let's see what else I have here for you. Pete Davidson, I believe we have audio of this too, told the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals to suck his D.
Wow.
In a recent voicemail obtained by TMZ, this comes after the organization called Davidson out for buying his new dog rather than choosing to adopt it. PETA's vice president, Daphna Nachmanovich, told the outlet, it's tragic that Pete didn't seek out a burrow-born mutt from a city animal shelter because a scrappy New Yorker with charm, personality, and unconventional handsomeness could have been his perfect match. So let me play a little bit of this audio for you here. Yeah, we have the full thing. This is him leaving a message for them.
Hi, my name's Pete Davidson. This message is for Daphna. Thank you so much for making comments publicly that I didn't adopt a dog. I just want to let you know I'm severely allergic to dogs, so I have to get a specific breed. I'm only not allergic to Cavapoos and those type of dogs. And my mom's dog, who was 2 years old, died a week prior, and we're all so sad, so I had to get a specific dog. So why don't you do your research before you create news stories for people, because you're a boring, tired you and my end of message.
So, you know me. I'm a big adopt person, big fan of it. My own brother has my niece is very allergic. They had to buy a dog that was one of these dogs that she could have in the house. So that's I get it, and so that's his reason.
I also don't think you need a reason. I don't think you have to have a built-in excuse for any of these people or any of these organizations. And listen, if you want to buy a dog, you are more than welcome to go buy a dog. Now, what I would do and what I did do is you make a donation to an animal charity or a pet charity or to PETA or whatever.
It's okay,
right?
yeah.
And that's fine. But you don't, listen, you're not breaking the law when you go and do that. You don't need to give anybody an excuse as to why or
what
where.
What is the I don't get the argument here. I understand
the argument
there
is there are loads of dogs that could be brought into a home, and a lot of times people will not look and see that there are breeds out there that they're looking for. And when you support, there are dog breeders that are certified, that are legit, and that you can. And people want a specific breed. Got it. But there's also a lot of puppy mills, and there's a lot of horrible conditions that animals are raised in, and that's a terrible thing.
But you're still you're still giving a dog a home.
Listen, if a dog is on this planet and it deserves to live, I got it.
So I think the idea behind it, Kathy, is the whole mechanism of these puppy mills. If you stop feeding into it, then they might slowly disappear and go away.
It.
I don't know. I don't.
I got you.
I don't subscribe to it at all. Not even a little bit.
And
listen,
I do.
Yeah.
I completely subscribe to that notion about helping, because there's a ton of cruelty that goes on that is horrific. Now, mind you, an animal's an animal. If it's alive, it's on the earth. Casey, I know you after you got your dogs, you felt the need to, or at least to let me know, or whatever the case. It's fine. I mean, I get it.
Because I respect you.
I'm not going to vilify somebody, but I would say if you can, it would be nice to consider adopting a dog, because there's so many out there that need homes.
But also the sort of the assumption that when you buy a dog, you automatically got it from a puppy mill. But I also think that there's enough information out there for you. If you are going to buy a dog, what do you call those? What do they call those types of dogs? Anyway,
Cavapo?
No, not that. But anyway, if you're going to buy a dog, if you're going to buy a dog, do your research. Make sure that you're getting it from an AKC or certified. You're not getting it from.
The last thing you want is as Preston was saying, supporting the mechanism that results in so much cruelty to animals. You don't want that.
But I know what you're saying. So we have our two puppies. We got them from a litter from a family friend whose dog had a litter.
There you go.
And somebody who's big about adoption kind of gave me a little bit, not direct grief, but kind of, I picked up on some microaggressions, if you will.
Yeah.
And then at first I was kind of like, I don't. And then I was like, wait a minute, I don't care. Wait a minute. Why would I let this bother me? I don't care.
The dogs were alive.
Yes.
Yes, you brought them into your home. It's from a litter. You don't have to explain to anybody. And also, if people want to be on the other side, want to get people more receptive to this, don't be so militant and say, hey, maybe next time. Think about that.
So following the release of the voicemail,
for Christ's sake,
Pete Davidson told the outlet that he lashed out due to his grief over the family's late dog Henry. He said, "I'm upset. It was a poor choice of words. I shouldn't have said what I said, but I'm not sorry for standing up for myself and my family." So there you go. Let's see. According to Elliot Page's new memoir, Page Boy, there was a lot going on behind the scenes of the movie Juno. You guys said it's a great movie. I've never seen it. I've heard.
I really like it. It's a sweet movie.
Well, Page wrote that he and Olivia Thirlby, who played his best friend in the film, were, quote, having sex all the time.
Seems like there was a lot of sex going on in this book.
The Umbrella Academy actor wrote, I was taken aback the moment I saw Olivia. and added that she seemed so much older, capable, and centered, though they were the same age at the time. Page shared that one day the pair were in Thirlby's hotel room when she looked directly at me and said point blank, "I am really attracted to you." From there, he writes that they started sucking face and, quote, had sex all the time. This took place, he writes, in her hotel room, in our trailers at work, once in a tiny private room in a restaurant. We thought we were being subtle. Being intimate with Olivia helped my shame dissipate. I didn't see a glint of it in her eyes, and I wanted that. Done feeling wretched about who I am.
So here's what happens when a book like this is coming out. The marketing people say, okay, they scour the book. Let's get like 10 stories to roll with. I forget what was the one. I forget who had it. Was it Gina Davis? She had like one small reference to something, and they made that the focus. So she's in the rush to push this. So is the book out now?
But that's not a bad thing.
No,
it's in the book. So
it's part of the book.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why you're seeing all of these stories coming out now.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Neither do I.
During the Hollywood Reporter's Comedy Actress Roundtable released on Tuesday, Elle Fanning, this is weird, revealed that she was turned down for a movie role when she was 16 years old because she was considered uneffable, she said.
Oh, jeez.
She said, I never told this story, but I was trying out for a movie. I didn't get it. I didn't even think they even made it, but it was a father-daughter road trip comedy. And Fanning said that she didn't normally hear things like this because of her agent's filtration system, but that these particular comments reached her. She said, I was 16 years old, and a person said, oh, she didn't get the father-daughter road trip comedy because she's uneffable, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
That's going to end up in a book.
The Maleficent actress added, it's so disgusting, and I can laugh at it now. What a disgusting pig, she said. And by the way, even she's 16, but she's one of the most beautiful actresses out there, eh?
Yeah.
You know, I
love these roundtables when they do them. The Hollywood Reporter's done a bunch over the years. I don't know if they have. They probably have all women roundtable before, but there's been ones with like Tom Hanks and Jamie Foxx and
they did.
Shia LaBeouf, and it's really fascinating glimpse into the business, into these people's personalities, because they give them time to have a conversation. So they're usually like an hour long.
Yeah, they've done a couple, and they're really interesting, especially when you get who is it? Got him having the Kwan from
he Kwan.
Yeah. It was a round table with all those guys, and to see him fanboy out.
Oh, that was the one with Brendan Fraser, right?
Yeah, it was terrific.
And they sort of reconnected as a result. It's sweet, and it's really nice because they all respect each other and listen to what the other person has to say.
Today reports that Kuba Gooding Jr. settled a civil rape case on Tuesday, just as the trial was set to begin. The Jerry Maguire actor was accused of raping a woman in a New York City hotel a decade ago. He has denied the allegations. Jurors were scheduled to begin assembling in a courtroom.
Did they give any idea as to how much money?
No. When a calendar entry in the official court read trial off, reason for cancellation on consent, the parties have resolved the matter. So like it was coming down to they were starting to assemble for it, and they made it go away. Settled on that. Anthony Mackie shared, and I haven't seen this yet, shared a behind-the-scenes photo of himself talking to Harrison Ford on the set of Captain America: Brave New World. And he captioned it, writing, when Harrison Ford tells you how kicking ass should look, you listen. Thanks for the on-set wisdom and laughs, my friend. And he said, can't wait to do it again. Marvel Studios, Captain America: Brave New World in theaters May 3rd next year, 2024.
He's Ross Thunderbolt.
That's right.
Harrison Ford, and then there's going to be a Thunderbolts movie after this.
Yep. Mark Hamill is ready to be done with Luke Skywalker. In an interview with CBS Sunday Morning, Hamill explained that he was grateful for all the happiness the character... Mandalorian on Disney Plus, noting that he is a purveyor of never say never. The actor made it clear that he's ready to hang up his lightsaber for good.
He was pretty vocal around the time The Last Jedi came out.
Yeah.
And he was not too happy with the way, he since made peace with it, but the way Mark Hamill was, with the way Luke Skywalker was, and saying he should have been this guy who had gone on, in the movie he's depicted as melancholy because he made some bad choices. But I enjoy the movie, but I mean, he's always going to be Luke Skywalker. It's something to embrace.
But he said, as far as playing that character again, he said, I just don't see any reason to. He said, let me put it that way. I mean, they have so many stories to tell. They don't need Luke anymore. I have my time. That's good, but that's good enough. And he may be overplaying the part, but he's happy to talk Star Wars.
Yeah,
he's all about that, especially on Twitter. He regularly answers questions about the films.
It's a good interview too. But the point of the interview, the reason why they did it in the first place, was to promote the machine, which was really cool.
Yep. And Casey, how is he in the machine?
He's great.
Yeah.
But you know who's better? Bert Kreischer. I could not believe how great Bert was in this movie.
Did you see it in the theater?
I did.
Okay, I didn't know if there were screeners.
No screeners, but no. And I wanted him to get my money, so I went on Saturday night by myself, and I just was blown away with how. Listen, the production quality of the movie was just great. The story was a lot of fun, and Bert's acting and comedic stuff was just dead on. Really, really great stuff.
Awesome. All right, we ready for clips? Let's do them. Hot off the presses. The 16th season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia finally upon us. And in this clip, Danny DeVito talks about his very first job. Here we go.
Nope.
What is that?
That was Pete Davidson.
I was like 14 years old, little kid. Got my working papers in Asbury Park. I put the little kids on the kiddie rides. You know, like the rides went around in circles, like a car or a boat or a fire engine. They were little, they gave me the ticket, and I pushed the button, and it would go around slow on a boardwalk. And I say, ring the bell, on the fire engine.
Yeah! All right. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia returns to FX tonight. All right, here's the next clip. Flamin' Hot follows the story of the beloved snack, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And here, Eva Longoria talks about her directorial debut on the project.
When this came along, I really felt like no one else can direct this. I am the person to do that. I felt it in my bones. I felt it. He could tell you in the presentation, It was like undeniable of like, I'm doing this.
Yeah! I have no idea what this...
This better be a comedy at some level. Yeah.
And it has to do with the Cheetos?
Yeah.
Okay. Flamin' Hot is available on Hulu this Friday, so you'll be able to find out. And there you go. That is what I have in the entertainment report this morning. All right, we have a secret text word, man. We have a chance for you to win tickets to see Tracy Morgan, Friday, October 13th. We'll be playing the Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. So text the word secret to 39333, and we will see if you win by the end of the program today. Don't forget, we chose a new school. We only have today and tomorrow left, and that is it. So Academy Park High School in Sharon Hill. Make sure you text the word teacher to 39333 and vote. We'll send you the voting link, okay? Get ready for it. And hopefully we'll hear from Kenny DeLeo or Delio. We're not really sure. From the Baldwin School because he got that award for coolest teacher and possibly...
What's the dealio?
We'll talk to him at some point. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR. WMMR presents
Clothing, yes.
Okay, sartorial.
It's what she likes to eat at the food court.
Oh, okay. No. Frequently give fans a double take, generally for their stunning elegance, but some are wagging their fingers at the Duchess of Sussex for the skirt that she chose to wear on the final day of her royal tour of New Zealand, Fiji, and so on.
It was a full cooter shot.
Well,
it was up above her waist.
No, it wasn't. She paired a stunning royal blue Givenchy sweater with a sheer blue pleated skirt. So there was some see-through to it.
Well, you know what? She has.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. But she has had a higher than they usually like the skirts worn with members of the royal family, but nothing outlandish. Whenever she's out, but she still looks elegant.
You can see the shape of her panties.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little
Does
sheer.
it matter that there are sexy photos of her on the internet to the royal family, do you think? Because, you know, when she did Suits and she did some modeling
There's a whole
stuff,
bunch of it.
Yeah.
And Nick, she had actually just done one prior to this whole...
To meeting Prince Harry.
Yes, and it's excellent.
And you know, the whole family received a portfolio of all of this stuff and said, here's what we're dealing with.
She's a beautiful woman.
If you need me, I'm going to be reviewing these photographs in my chamber.
How long is that going to take?
Wappa. Fwap.
That's it.
The fappening.
Wappa wappa.
By the
That's
way,
the royal family version of fap.
why does this all have to rest on her shoulders? Like, why doesn't she have people looking at her going, yo, dude, I can see your panties?
But she makes the final choice.
Yo, dude, I can see your panties.
By the way, Shake Shack,
Yep.
love their burgers, but I might as well eat them while I'm sitting on the toilet because that's how quickly they go through me.
Just for some particular reason?
Yeah.
There is
Do you get the special sauce?
Dude, so
He makes the special sauce.
I literally ate it one time, and I was driving home. I ate it by Helium. There's one right there.
Oh, no.
And I ate it,
Oh, no.
and I had to race. Oh my God! I'm trying to get home. I was trying to get home.
Yeah.
And it was late. It was probably like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
I can make it.
And by the time I got to about Route 1 on 76, I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it. So let me get to the radio station. Quick.
Oh.
Stat, right?
Yeah.
Got to the radio station. Couldn't make it to the 4th floor. I had to dump by it outside next to the...
Dude, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did you take a dump?
You crapped outside of the building?
I had to.
How long ago was this?
This morning.
God.
Kathy,
I
it was either that or in my pants. What do I do?
Sometimes I don't know.
Right? So I had to do it next to the...
Couldn't you at least pick a competing station?
Yeah. Well, no,
I mean,
because
and also just so open to tell the story. It's amazing.
Oh, not right away. I had to wait a couple of years before the security footage was deleted, you know?
Hey,
Gav!
More FM's right over there.
Right.
Well,
Q102 is right down the street.
Q102 is down the street. He crapped there.
oh my God.
The story does get a little bit better.
Funny.
How?
How could it?
But could you have imagined had he been stopped at another radio station simply because it was an emergency?
Yes.
Right.
Local broadcaster in a clear attempt.
Like a superintendent of a school.
Right, exactly.
Right?
He would have been raised to heroic levels here.
Now, how does the story get better?
Oh, man. I think I'm just going to end it there.
Well, no. You started down the path.
Just say it quietly so we can't hear.
All right, I'll just whisper it.
They're not listening.
Yeah.
So I had to...
smeared it on someone's car.
I had to leave it there in the grass.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it with me.
Right.
Oh, you didn't want to take it with you?
No. I couldn't. So what
You
ended
take
up...
your dog for a walk.
So...
I left it there.
All right, so a little bit did end up in my underpants. So I had...
That was just like a bingo.
So I had to luckily I had... Nobody can hear this, right?
Right,
All right.
good.
So luckily I had all these T-shirts in the back of my car.
Did you fashion in makeshift underwear?
I literally wore a pink T-shirt as underwear on the drive home. Oh, no. It gets better. Oh, my God. Okay. So then I'm on my way home, and I'm thinking, dude, there is, like, T-shirts and poop and all this stuff next to the building. All right. So I can't, like, if security goes and they see that on Monday, they're going to go, well, who pooped here
and look at security.
They're going to look at security and they're going to see me like all ashamed crouching next to my car. So on Monday, I came back to work with a giant trash bag and I had to like collect it all.
Oh my God.
And then throw it in the dumpster.
So he cleaned his spot.
Yeah, I cleaned my spot.
hate you.
I hate me too, Kathy. When I got home.
And this was all because of what?
Freaking Shake Shack.
Oh, Shake Shack.
No, not Five Guys. Don't you talk
They're
bad about-
fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
Where in the building was it?
On the over
By
at
the loading docks. Well, I say you unloaded.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
had to go. What's that?
Why didn't you come inside?
He couldn't get in.
I couldn't make it. I do. Believe me. I'm not. This is not a proud moment here, Kathy.
Yeah. Though you would assume it could have been a proud moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you came back. And, that's noble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily noble. It was self-preservation.
The last thing you wanted is that footage to end up. But what's worse, the footage of you doing it or the footage of you collecting it back up in the bag?
They watched both and they were like, okay, well, he came back and cleaned.
You know, we'll erase this.
All right, so you should eat your hamburger upside down.
On the toilet.
That's what we got.
That's all. That's all I noticed. I didn't. There's
notice.
That's it. I can't top that.
No, it ends there.
I will not be able
like
to.
Like a derailing train.
Right.
So nobody heard that, right?
Nobody heard that. People magazine is named its 2018 sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
And it is Idris Elba. Kathy, the British actor, says the honor has given him a boost of self-confidence.
What do you think? Are you an Idris Elba fan?
Pull up a picture.
Okay. You don't remember?
You don't know what he looks like?
No, I do, but like, let me just look at.
Let her drink him in.
Yeah, I don't like. Is that the picture they use?
Let her take a sip of that chocolate.
Yeah,
milk.
that's from people.com.
I don't love the picture that they use. I wish they used a different picture, but yeah, no, he's good looking for sure.
He was surprised after being crowned this year's winner. I was like, come on, no way, really? He told the magazine.
You guys.
He said, look. Here, there's the cover picture.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's like Lovey.
Well, like Lovey from Gilligan's Island?
No, like not where you would look at some of them and be like, oh my God, he's so hot. Like, this guy's like, he probably would give you a good hug.
Part of it is his voice and his demeanor. He is planning a wedding with his fiancee Sabrina Dahor. No.
Yeah, well, I don't
Sabrina
know.
Dahor?
Dower.
Dahore?
Dahore.
Oh, you mean Dahor?
Dahor. It's all the same letters.
Who are you marrying? Sabrina. Oh, Dahor?
Dhowre.
No, not Dahor.
If you move the W to the beginning or in between the D and H, it looks like Dahor.
No, it's Dahor.
Dahor. Dahore.
No.
Anyhow, the actor has
I'm not marrying a whore.
a 16-year-old daughter named Isan and a 4-year-old son named Winston. What a great name.
Yeah, I almost
like
named my
that.
dog Winston.
From previous
Let him know.
relationships. Elba told people about his upbringing.
Yes, Idris. My name is Casey. I produce a show in the States. I almost named my dog Winston.
When you said let him know, I thought you were talking about let my dog know.
I did too. Come here, buddy.
Come here.
You're almost Winston.
Reggie, I almost named
Dog, I don't understand what you're saying.
We began Wigapalooza.
I'm very excited.
If you just tuned in, we talked about this a while back. What would Steve look like with a head of realistic human hair and not goofy looking wigs? Actual hair. We want to see what Steve would look like with a realistic looking hairstyle.
These wigs are usually fitted to people's heads, so Steve's got a bigger head. I actually thought his head was a little bit smaller than that.
Should we bring him in?
Yes.
All right, let's have Steve come in and see what the actual. Wow! Dude, oh my God!
You haven't seen it?
You haven't? Kathy's got to have a mirror.
Get the big mirror from the office.
Steve, you look better bald, man.
Casey, that does look good. You fixed the sides.
Yeah.
Do you know whose hair I immediately think of for some reason? Because
Oh, Jesus Christ.
he looks like Danny Briere's hair for some reason.
Wow.
Am I not wrong about that?
That's
Danny
absolutely
Briere,
right.
formerly of the Flyers.
No,
What? Who are you thinking of? Here, move your microphone over, Steve. So I can...
from bachelor party and
Adrian
Zmed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, how
It's
come
the
no
profile
sideburn?
that I love.
I guess you have to. Well, I look like a '60s pop star. Hey, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow.
This is one that's for the ladies.
Yeah.
It's what you call a panty dropper in the biz.
Yeah, Steve. We need a voice with that.
That's right,
wig.
yeah.
What is that? The voice?
I need
you
it.
think,
Yeah,
or-
I think that's kind of the name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
or kind of the voice.
The back looks good too, like
Does
the
the back look
neckline.
good?
Yeah, the neckline.
Yeah. The back looks real.
Am I making you wet, baby?
Looks totally real. Somebody says you look like Paul McCartney. Yeah.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody says Phil Mickelson or Ralph Macchio.
Well, a little Ralph Macchio.
A little bit.
The Karate Kid on Hard Times.
And by the way, you'll need.
Hey, Mr. Miyagi, how are you?
You'll need.
What the hell happened?
There you go. Yes, Steve's doing the dance moves. And we'll put.
I could walk you home.
Makes me feel fine.
Oh, Steve. The hair. Oh my God.
Summer breeze.
Nice.
Makes me feel fine.
Oh, you've got to watch the webcam. Steve is singing directly to you.
I thought that was beautiful, actually. I have to go pleasure myself.
Hi,
I'm
Bri-
so turned on.
All right, well, let's bring him in and see what we have next. Let's have Steve. He's been out of the studio when he gets. Okay. The color is better on this.
Yes.
I think
I like the dark.
Hey, I'll help.
You look like a stock boy a little
Right,
bit.
yeah. I'll get that for you, Mr. Jones.
What do you want me to do with the canoe?
Just put it in the back. Put it in the back.
I'll move that around for you, Mr. Jones. Hey, can I take lunch now?
Every wig has to have a voice.
Right, yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Wow.
My name's Toby. This is a Toby, right?
Yeah, that's a Toby.
Yeah.
Toby.
Is that what it's called?
Toby.
Is that what it's called? Seriously?
No. It's the Toby. I don't know. Yeah. It intermatches with the Kunta Kinte.
Well, what was the last one? What should that have been? That was the Danny?
The Danny or the Ricky.
The Ricky.
I like the Ricky.
That was Ricky. With a song for you.
No, it's
Toby.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
What's the dealio?
Well, I'm glad you played that, Steve, because our coolest teacher is actually on the line. And whether his name is pronounced that way or not, from now on, he will be known as Kenny DeLeo to us. But this is Kenny DeLeo, I think. Good morning, Mr. DeLeo. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. So correct us on the pronunciation, if you would.
It's Delio.
It's Delio. Well, we were going.
What's the dealio?
We're going with Delio. Well, listen, you're a teacher at the Baldwin School, and how about that? The kids think you're the coolest teacher there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was surprised when I heard about it.
Nice. And so I was reading a little bit of information about you. You teach ceramics and sculpture. Is that correct?
That is, yep.
I didn't realize you could specify that much. That to me would be under the label of art teacher, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We're the art teachers. We get to break all the rules, so that's why all the kids like us.
Oh, the art teachers were always the coolest because I'm actually a pretty decent, sketch artist.
Yeah,
and I
you
have fun
are.
with that. So, but it was always the most casual class.
Yeah, it's a great class. It's always loud, always music on.
Oh.
Kids love being here.
So every art teacher I ever had allowed you to bring in music, and so do you do that as well? You allow the kids to play music?
I play mine.
You play yours.
They have horrible taste in music, so I gotta teach them a little.
Very good. You're a teacher,
Yeah.
man. That's what you do. And you have local ties. You went to school here, right?
Yeah, well, I went New Jersey. I went to Rancocas Valley.
Okay. And then how about you? I see you went to University of the Arts.
I went to the University of Arts, for undergrad.
Wow. And then got your master's where?
The University of Delaware.
All right. So in and around the area, which is great. And then, how does is it tough finding an art teacher gig? Are there because it seems like there's lots of artists and lots of teachers. Would it be hard to find that particular position?
I wasn't looking. It kind of fell into my lap. Someone said this job was available. It was the last minute. And, I applied for it, and I got it. And I've been here ever since, 13 years.
Nice.
So let me ask you a question because, it's weird that you can, quote unquote, teach art. Now, you can teach technique, right? And but also as an art teacher or instructor, not only are you an artist, but you're also kind of a critic. Would you agree with that assessment?
Absolutely. My students tell me I judged way too much.
Well, that's got to be hard as an artist to be a critic at the same time.
Or fun.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah, it can be fun. I always tell my students I'll never lie to them. So they know I'm always going to tell them the truth. And honestly, there's always a way to make it better. So I just try to inspire them.
I would imagine part of that, though, is realizing the effort that the student put in as opposed to what their actual talent is.
Yeah. You get especially towards the end of the year, the effort kind of goes away.
Right.
You gotta just keep pushing them.
Is it possible to have literally no talent and still just by effort still pass the class?
Yeah, because we teach a lot of technique. So as long as they're following through with the technique, they're going to have some sort of success.
There you go.
What's senioritis like around this time of year?
If they show up,
it's a miracle.
Our class was a blow-offable class. Yeah.
Well, listen, what's up? What's coming up for the summer, Ken?
Nothing much. Everyone's just counting the days down. I think we have graduation tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, so we're all ready to head off.
All right. Well, listen, rather than actually sculpt a mug for you, they tasked us to give one to you. And it is the official Preston and Steve Coolest Teacher of the Year coffee mug, which we hope you will display proudly. And we're also going to give you a $50 Five Below gift card on top of that. All right, Kenny?
It's great. Thank you, guys.
You got it. Congratulations. Kenny DeLeo, guys, or DeLeo, who is from
What's the dealio?
the Baldwin School. And now we have the Academy Park High School students voting. in Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania, and you get till tomorrow morning, and then we choose one more school, and that's it, and we're done for 2023. So text the word, if you go to Academy Park High School, text the word teacher to 39333 for the voting link. So yesterday, we should be getting a call in a moment. We're going to talk to Karen Rogers of 6ABC about the whole smoke thing that's going on in the atmosphere, but it was last night around 8 o'clock or so that Rochelle called me outside. She's like, hey, she's like, does this smell like a controlled burn that's going on somewhere?
Yeah.
And then I step outside.
So it was in the evening.
And not only smelled it, but saw smoke wafting across, the back part of our neighborhood. I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, maybe somebody's burning leaves. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's spring/summer. Nobody's burning leaves right now.
And maybe they do. We don't know.
But we didn't. Well, but then we didn't see any black smoke per se, because the black smoke means something's on fire. So
right?
There's a home fire or something like that.
Right.
So we knew. I just thought maybe somebody was having a bonfire or I don't know what. And so we just kind of brushed it off. So we didn't hear any sirens or anything. I didn't see anything that was cause for alert. And I went back inside and come back out, and she's like, hey, so it's from the Canadian wildfires.
Which is crazy because, as you pointed out earlier, we've had raging fires in the Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
And I never recall an issue like this where you could smell it.
Not even a sniff.
I'm home midday yesterday, sunny. I get out of the car. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, what is... Because I'm very my olfactory senses are always on high, you know. So anytime anything I smell in the house, I walk around, and so I start walking around the outside of the house because I'm outside at the time, and I'm looking. That's how profound it was. I'm like, something's got to be burning somewhere here, and I didn't realize until this morning that that's what that was.
Yeah, Shell's like, she goes, here, this is the fires from Canada. And I go, no, it's not. I said it's been obscuring the sky for the past few days. That's why the sun looks strange during the sunset. And I go, there's no way that smoke is coming from Canada and we can actually see the smoke. You are so dumb.
You are so dumb.
And I went to bed and then woke up this morning and saw the story, and I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Shut up, woman.
I had no idea, because we've had the California fires, which have obscured the sun.
Yes, it affected us here.
Didn't smell or anything, but I guess the wind was perfect for it to come down this way.
Yeah, the haze that just blanketed the neighborhood where I was, and I saw pictures of people at the Phillies game. Like, you could just see it. I knew what was going on because I got that Montgomery County public safety alert, which specifically said that it was the fires from Canada.
Yeah. All right. So we have someone who can speak on a level of expertise. She's a very good friend of ours from 6ABC, Karen Rogers, meteorologist. Hey, Karen.
How you doing?
We're I'm a little choked up here from all this in the atmosphere.
I was driving in this morning, and the moon was aglow in orange, and like you were just saying, you really smelled the smoke out there. And you guys already brought up such a good point. I have to jump in because you were talking about Canada. I was just thinking about that, or talking about the wildfires in California, how that really didn't affect us as much. We were like, oh, look at the kind of cool sunrise and sunset. It looks a little more orange. But we weren't having air quality issues.
Right.
And the difference with this one is that we have a really well-mixed atmosphere. So it's kind of a turbulent atmosphere. We've got the winds mixing in different layers of the atmosphere. So it's just bringing those smoke particles down to the surface. Not only are you smelling it and seeing it, but it's actually reducing visibility.
Yes.
It's causing similar conditions to fog where you're seeing less than 2-mile visibility in some spots this morning.
This seems like a bit of an anomaly, Karen, because we were just before you came on, we were talking about, we've had raging wildfires in the Pine Barrens, and never sniffed even the slightest bit of a smoke smell in Philadelphia.
I think it's just more an issue where there's several things that collided at once.
Yeah.
So right now in Canada, they're having the worst ever. They've got about double what they would normally get at this point. So on set to be the worst ever. They had all the fires in Nova Scotia, and they've had now in Quebec. So overall, they've had over 400 fires burning, not quite that far away. And in addition to that, if you had, let's say you had the wildfire and then you had rainfall, well, then it's going to kind of limit the smoke and how it travels.
Right.
We haven't had the rain.
None.
So
It's true.
we've been over 5 inches now
Yeah.
that we're below average since January. And they've been dry there as well. That's why the fires are going out of control. So because we're all so dry, you have nothing to limit it. So it's not that, oh, this has maybe never happened before. It's just kind of the confluence of all these things that are negative that are making it worse.
And-
that are almost separate issues that,
Yeah.
they're related. It's been dry. They're getting more fires, right? So because of that, the smoke is traveling, and because we have the winds that are kind of mixing, that's sort of a separate issue, but it's coming down to the surface. So we have various different elements that are making it worse for us right now.
And with the dry conditions, we're in a danger zone of potential
We
fires.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yesterday was a red flag warning.
Yeah.
Today it's more of a cautionary tale. They're saying, be careful out there. You don't want to start any fires. We had a couple of spots that got a couple of quick thunderstorms yesterday, and that was about it. Today is dry. Tomorrow, just a spotty shower chance, maybe a couple of showers Friday. But so a lot of these conditions are going to continue. And the smoke, though, it's a little better now than it was, say, 8 hours ago with the smoke. But it's going to get a little worse tonight. You're going to notice it again, like late afternoon.
Wow.
Into tonight, it's going to get a little bit worse, a little bit denser. Tomorrow, it eases up a little bit, so it gets a little better then. But yeah, our dry conditions continue, and that's kind of part of the problem. We need something to wash this atmosphere out.
For sure. Yeah, Karen, I was paying
ahead, like maybe Monday, you might get, but that's kind of a ways away to say.
Karen, I was paying attention to how this was affecting the sports world last night. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs had their game canceled. They were up in Syracuse, and then I saw some posts from the Yankees game, and it just looked like this awful black smog haze descended upon Yankee Stadium. Do you think it might affect the Phillies game tonight?
It's good you brought that up. I'm not a sports girl. I didn't think of that until you said it. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking which one of my kids' activities are canceled. But yeah, no, I think it definitely could because it's going to get a little worse late this afternoon and tonight. So we'll just have to see how they handle it. They have their own people that will make those decisions. But I guess I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen because it will be worse. The Phil's game, I think it's 6:05 today, right? So it'll be a little worse then than we're dealing with right now.
So fair to assume that tomorrow it'll be clearing up, would you say substantially
it'll
more?
be noticeable, but I don't think you're going to smell it as much. I don't think you're going to see it during the day as much.
All right, cool.
Well, I was thinking there's like graduations that are happening now, outside, and I'm like, will they go on with them, or is this
I've heard
something?
that some kids' activities are canceled, especially for the younger ones. We were talking to some moms who have younger kids, and some of their field days are canceled because it is. You kind of want to think for today. It's the young, it's the elderly, people with respiratory issues, asthma. When I was doing our Philly forecast, that's what I was telling people. Like, I wouldn't go if you had some health issues that might prevent it because the fine particulate matter in the wildfire smoke, that's what can get into your lungs. So that's the issue. And now it's down at the surface, where in the past, some of these times, it's just been way up in the upper levels of the atmosphere and not influenced us as much. So it really is impacting us.
Okay, interesting. All right, we needed some official information. Thank you for
I
clearing
will
that
be
up.
your official informant anytime.
I love it. Thank you. All right, Karen, take care. Thanks for calling in. 6 ABC meteorologist Karen Rogers. And with that, I have Marissa grab some smoke clips.
Ah.
And if you can identify this smoke clip, Casey, what do we have? Whatever. We're going to give stuff away?
Yeah, I mean, we have a load of things. We have Queens of the Stone Age tickets. We do have cases of Victory Summer Love. We have tickets to see Adam Ray at, where is this? Punchline Philly. And we also, I believe, have tickets to see Tracy Morgan at Ocean Resort Casino.
When natural disasters become your way to win.
That's right.
What movie is this from?
Smoking or non-smoking? Non-smoking. Smoking!
You don't smoke?
No, I don't. But I did.
Oh.
Oh, dear, and I found the best way to keep from smoking and lighting up is to be around those who do smoke.
Okay, 215-263 WMMR. You should be able to figure that out. Kathy, I was wondering about you. You're very sensitive to scents and smells and things in the air and stuff like that.
All that kind of like stuff.
I just don't feel well.
Was this bothering you?
You know what? I smelt it, and I could feel like
Did I deal it?
No, but even like in the air, but I also didn't want to, like when I got the alert last night, I immediately was like, oh my God, that's why I was having trouble breathing. It's why I don't feel good today. And I'm like, no, like just don't make it like a mental thing. I'm trying not to be like, oh yeah, this is it. This is why you're not feeling so great. But so I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, and sometimes you just default to it like, that's got to be it, of course.
Well, because I also gave my mom a hard time. Remember, I said this like last week or something. She was like, the wildfires in Canada, and I was like, same thing. I was like, listen, I understand that the air quality alerts are for everyone, and you need to take it seriously. But come on, we're not staying inside. And now,
All right, let's see if somebody knows this movie.
Smoking or non-smoking? Non-smoking.
Smoking!
You don't smoke?
No, I don't. But I did. Oh, dear, and I found the best way to keep from smoking and lighting up is to be around those who do smoke.
All right, I'm going to go to John. Hey, John.
Hey, yes, I would like a Bloody Murray.
Is that a Bloody Murray?
Yes, it's Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah, it is Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, absolutely correct. So hang on the line. We're going to give you something to drink, not a Bloody Mary, but
a case of Victory Summer Love. You can taste victory with your favorite summer crusher. Victory Brewing Summer Love, lemony, hops, crisp and refreshing, and ready for your cooler.
All right, I'm going to play another. Yes.
Real quick, I don't. Why did she want to sit in the smoking section? I don't remember why.
Because the guy who was who he was meeting to pitch the TV show to, was sitting in non-smoking. Remember, there were two. He had to be in two places at once in the restaurant.
Yes.
And she wanted the family to sit in smoking so that they weren't, so he could move from table to table.
I got it.
All right, here's another smoking clip. Let's see if you know this one.
Burnt my fingers, man.
I beg your pardon?
Man, that watch is so hot, it's smoking.
Hot.
All right, let's see if you know that. That's a good one. 215-263 WMMR. Yeah, so I was it was starting to get inside the house. That's kind of weirded me out a little bit.
Are you the kind of guy who goes on patrol the second you hear, the second you smell something?
Yeah.
Because I'm very attuned to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rochelle even more so than me, but I will absolutely, if I smell a hint of gas or smoke or something like that, I will do the literally nose up in the air.
Yes.
Walking around.
Absolutely, like a friggin' bloodhound.
Trying to find out where it is. But
to me, it's two things. It's the smell of smoke and cat urine. And we are free of that if a cat ever has like a kidney issue or like a urinary tract infection. But otherwise, the smoke as anything, and I go nuts.
How about when someone smells something and you can't smell it? So Rochelle used to smell gasoline all the time in our garage, and it was freaking her out. And I would come out there and I'm like, I don't smell anything. Yeah. I don't smell it. It's over here, and she's walking around all over the place. And it would drive me crazy. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell do you want?
What do you want me to do?
Santa's got to go. Yeah. But
I always smell it. Yeah, I guess I've never. I'm usually the one who's the smeller.
Yeah. But last night that was clearly what was going on.
It was a weird smell too. Like when I came out, because I was at my daughter's school, we were at like this assembly, and I walked outside, and I thought it was like, I was like, is there a tire fire or something like that?
Yeah, that's a much different smell. That's very acidic.
Yeah, mine where it was, it's flat out just smelled like wood smoke to me, like a campfire.
In years past, when they've had like volcanic eruptions like around the world, I mean that'll affect the air around the world. I remember, was it Mount Pinatubo years ago? A volcano blew up. And for a long time afterwards, we were having these super red sunsets. Yeah. People swore they could smell stuff. I didn't believe. But it's weird to think up in Canada, we're looking out the window, we're seeing a haze. Yeah. That this is affecting us this way.
Well, this morning on the news, they were showing lights at the link or something like that, and you can tell the difference when there's like if you go to a stage show, if they're using smoke, it defines the beams. It makes the lights look more dramatic, and that's what it looked like when I was looking at the
It's pretty
footage.
cool.
Marissa?
There were lights off the L&I building last night. It looked perfect Batman, Steve.
I love that.
Like, exactly the kind of sky you'd shoot the bat signal into.
Jeremy, do you like Canadian fires? You will.
Let's see if we can get an answer. What is this movie? What movie is this from?
Burnt my fingers, man.
I beg your pardon?
Man, that watch is so hot, it's smoking.
Hot.
All right, let me go to Johannes. Hey, Johannes, good morning.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Awesome, bud. All right, you know what movie that's from?
Yes, it is. It is Trading Places.
Yes! Trading Places. It's Dan Aykroyd. And actually, Bo Diddley is the guy who was given that line. He's the guy in the pawn shop. Yeah.
How much does it cost in South Philly?
$50.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want? Can you guess this, Preston? I have a clip for you. All right, it has to do with smoke.
All right. Is that Casey playing Smoke on the Water with his duck cheeks?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Got it. All right. What do we have for Johannes, by the way?
We have a pair of tickets to see Tracy Morgan. That's going to be on Friday, October 13th at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. Now, tickets go on sale this Friday for that show. This Friday at 10 a.m., you can visit theoceanac.com for tickets and information. It's a 21 and older show.
All right. Here's an easy one. All right. Let me play a clip, see if you know this movie.
Smoking.
All right.
One of the classics.
215-263-WMMR is the number. I actually didn't get this sensation last night, but it was making me think of how absolutely painful it is if you are at a campfire and the wind blows in your direction and that smoke goes directly in your eyes.
When smoke gets in your eyes.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you this. That's why I do love a wood fire, but having the propane fire pits, much
cleaner.
better, much cleaner. You don't end up smelling like smoke. But it's a trade-off.
That's true. I do like playing with the fire,
and
though.
the crackling sound and all
part
that.
of the fun.
Yeah.
But, and it's less likely to explode like those canisters of propane are.
We're a big s'mores family in my household. My daughter had her friends over on Friday night, and we have the propane fire pit, and so they were making s'mores. I was so mad. I walked out there on Sunday, and there was a stick with marshmallow on it just sitting on the deck. I was like, come on, man. Like, clean up after yourselves. Like, marshmallows get all over the place, you know?
Yes, of course.
And Nick, by the way, Preston brought this up. We had those a couple of weeks ago.
I'm a little mad.
Okay, the Oreos, s'mores, marshmallow, and chocolate, or s'moreo.
Oh, wait, we have these right now.
Yeah. All right. So I believe I am owed a cut of this because I brought it up on the air 2 or 3 years ago. My son invented s'moreos. And I did a Google search back then. There was no s'moreos on the market. Now Oreo, which is a Nabisco brand, has their very own s'mores Oreo.
All right.
And I believe that they stole that idea.
Explain what the s'moreo is, please.
So Ben's invention, my son's invention, is slightly different. It was you would unscrew an Oreo and use the cake side of either the cookie side of the Oreo, and then put a s'more in between the two. And you could do a s'more with a marshmallow and a Hershey bar, or a marshmallow and a Reese's peanut butter cup if you so choose.
All right.
But now they have these pre-made s'moreos, and I call shenanigans.
Have you sampled the pre-made s'moreos?
I have, yeah, they're good.
Are they as good as making it over the campfire?
Well, it's different because the campfire has a melted marshmallow.
Yeah.
And,
I'm going to have to recommend something, if I may, and they're connected to the Mutiny on the Mashulu, but that's just part of it. Tuck-ins.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you've never
my
had
God.
tuck-ins. They're so effing good.
They're the greatest things ever.
Yeah, and so what they make their own marshmallow, their own. So it's just basically it's the marshmallow outside is
It's a pre-made. Not yet melted s'more.
Okay.
So and it's all enclosed.
Yeah.
And it comes with the stick and everything, and then you just take the wrapper off and you put it over the fire, and they have like all different. Some are filled with Reese cups. Some have the chocolate. Like you can
all sorts of flavors. Yeah, but it's excellent, and I mean. I veered from the s'mores train a while ago, and then when I got the propane, fire pit, I came back. They're effing awesome.
Casey had enlightened me to the peanut butter cup version of s'mores, which is pretty amazing. And I just don't like marshmallow anymore.
Well, okay, so I don't like s'mores because I don't love marshmallows.
Right.
However, I will say these s'moreos, for whatever reason, I don't know where they came from. Somebody else got them, are in my cabinet right now. And Jace was eating them, and he's like, Mom, just try one. They're really good. And I did, and it was really good. And I don't like s'mores.
All right. I'm going to play this one more time. We'll see if we can get a winner here. What movie is this from?
Smoking.
Easy one. I'll go to Shauna. Hi, Shauna. Good morning. Oh, wait. We have a song for you, Shauna. Hang on just a second. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Shauna Genie. All right, Shauna.
Yeah.
What movie is that from, please?
The Mask.
The Mask.
Yay!
Hang on the line. tickets for you, right, Case?
Yeah, pair of tickets to see as MMR rocks Queens of the Stone Age. That is going to be on Tuesday, August 8th at the Mann Center. Tickets go on sale for that show this Friday at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.
All right, Case, question. Should we take a break now?
We should, yeah.
All right, because we're going to go live on
that's
Friday.
right.
We got to do that. But anyhow, yeah, the whole smoke thing, a little bit more of that today. So just a heads up on that, but it's kind of weird. Never seen anything quite like it. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment, and the Bizarre File as well as Fox 29. So stay put. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
It's officially
Yes, dude.
Yeah, we only have
an wig.
We only have two more left. Let's bring him in. Let's see Steve's third wig of the morning. Wow, man.
It is the best one.
Yeah. Steve, and that's real hair. What's that?
A little bit of gray.
Just a little salt and pepper in there.
Yeah.
That looks good.
I think he looks like either
I think I'm ready for the boardroom and the bedroom.
I think Richard Gere, maybe.
She gave me three options: Richard Gere, Regis Philbin, and Eddie Munster.
What?
With the three hair.
Well, the one style we had going at first, he looked a little like Eddie Munster.
It's all sewn
Do I
in.
look like in the Cialis commercial? I say the man with the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do look like the man with the plan.
Yeah, putting some more wind in my sails with Cialis.
Oh, is this the voice?
Yeah.
What's
Kids, we're gonna go mountain climbing and rappelling. And I can get aroused too.
What's a good name for this hair?
It's
First thing that comes to your mind.
Chet.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Chet Wainwright.
All right.
Dr. Chet Wainwright?
Dr. Chet Wainwright.
PhD.
Yeah.
What are you, a doctor?
Not DDS?
Of course. It
The
would be
ladies
anything
are
else.
stacked too deep
All
out
right,
there.
now put the headphones on, and we'll see if this because
Radio chat.
Steve doesn't have sideburns.
I have
and
no
so that's
sideburns,
the one thing
no
that looks a little
eyebrows.
odd.
What happened was that they extracted me from the pod in the Matrix too quickly, and I hadn't fully formed.
I like this the
Put your
best.
headphones on.
All right.
Let's see how this looks.
I have hair over my ears, which is weird.
That looks real,
Let me see.
Steve.
Look at me. Can you look at me?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, call.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry, you got to do it. Dr. Chet Wainwright.
Hey, Chet.
Right?
Yes.
All right, do it again.
Boys, all right, ready?
Hey, Dr. Wainwright.
Can I help you, ladies?
Oh, my God.
I think we got a yeast situation.
Casey wanted me to play this music. All right, so...
It's an African-American wig.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. It's real hair.
Yeah.
It's real hair. I mean, it's just like a $1,500 wig. And this particular wig is going to a politician.
All right, somebody who's running for office.
So it's a short crop.
Okay.
You know, it's a short crop.
All right.
Yeah, just take a look-see.
All right, Superfly, come on in. Let's take a look and see. Yeah! Yes! Oh, dude, Steve! Oh,
Out of sight.
Yeah! That looks real.
It looks pretty real. I think this looks the realest. Apparently, I would be a really good black dude.
It's a tight curl.
You know what this reminds me of, though? And see if this frames for you a little bit. Like Mr. Brady.
A little bit.
A little Mr. Brady in the latter part of the series.
Okay.
Sort of what they would call an Isro.
Yeah. No, you know what it looks like? It looks like my friend Nolan, who's Jewish.
Now, Peter, Bobby, someone broke that vase.
All right. So, other than the Brady affectation, what kind of can you need to look at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
Take a look and see what name, what voice, what your style is going to be.
Wesley Python. You like that?
Yes.
I love the name, Wesley Python.
My name is Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley Python.
So are you kind of? Then they're kind of like a Billy D.
I'm like a Billy D.
Okay.
I'm like a malt liquor drinking.
All right.
Wannabe.
Yeah. Smooth.
Wesley Python. Smooth.
Yeah.
I go down like my ladies.
Hang on, I want to try something else. Yo, Wesley.
Is that good?
No, he's Isaac from the Love Boat.
Yeah. I'll do it again.
Yeah. Yo, Wesley.
Fell over. With the headphones on.
Yeah, there we go.
I love
even
it.
better.
Oh, that looks good.
Hey, all you boppers out there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right.
Wigapalooza on the Preston Steve Show.
From Funkadelic. Wesley Python with you. Let's get the funk on.
Hey, Wesley, do you have a favorite?
Hey, if you want to hear the song, send me a fax.
Do you have a favorite
that'd
so
be
far?
a self-addressed stamped envelope, probably.
Send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll try to get it on for you in 3 weeks when it arrives.
Do you have a favorite so far?
Was that, little man?
Do you have a favorite wig so far?
Let me see. I'm kind of like, for the one that looks the most real, this one.
Yeah, right.
And the last one. They're both the ones made with human hair. The synthetics, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it.
I'm thinking the Chet was my favorite.
Chet,
The Chet was good.
I'm the man with the plan.
The last birthday I saw is an actor named Adam Devine. And
Yes.
he was in Pitch Perfect. So,
Yeah.
Casey, I'm sure you got something queued up. Is him singing?
No, this is actually Ben Platt singing. He took over for Adam Devine because Adam left the band to go be a backup singer for John Mayer, if you recall, in that particular movie.
Okay, so this is the end of the movie, and they do that song Magic.
Yeah.
You love this version of it.
Oh my God, dude!
That's why
I
we're
get
playing
so welled up.
Do it. Play it. I want to see you cry. He went on. He also had a role on Modern Family for a while.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I like him. He's good.
He's very funny.
Good, cool, comedic actor. He was also in a movie that I like a lot, The Intern.
Yep.
And he was in Why Him. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. So here we go.
All of it, man. Like, it just builds to a crescendo, and these guys, and then the Barton Bellas, and I just get so happy.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
There's also a scene in Madagascar 3.
Oh my God.
Where I think it's the hippo.
That's when the series hits its stride.
Oh my God! When the hippo comes out and like, because they're working towards this big show, this big circus, and then the hippo comes out and Firework is playing from Katy Perry, and I got so happy that I started crying.
Listen, it's very impactful. I think even Gene Simmons got a little teary-eyed.
When that hippo makes the appearance in Madagascar 3, you need to understand it's the culmination of everything. This very large creature you would not think would be so adroit on the stage wows everyone, including a group of meerkats.
Even kind of, stone-hearted Gene Simmons crumbled to that.
Melted this icy heart. My face, I was smiling so hard, my surgically reattached face slid off my skull.
Oh my God.
There's another crescendo.
There's an incredible scene where a platypus sings, "I was made for loving you."
What were you going to say?
I can't well, I just know it's at the end of the new Muppets movie that has Jason Segel in it.
Right.
Because they're doing this like telethon to save this theater. Something, is it the chickens? I don't know.
Happening?
Of course, the famous chicken scene.
I get so happy. Yes, they're doing the Gnarls Barkley song.
Oh.
It's F.U.?
Yes.
Okay. When they do that again, I'm so happy that I start crying. I don't know why.
It's just the way of
I
it.
cry out of happiness sometimes. Back to you, Preston.
From this made you cry? That one did?
I don't know. Maybe I was
Do you want to bawl like a little girl?
Yeah.
You want to see a chipmunk sing Gnarls Barkley? Now that's incredible.
Oh my God.
It's just a crescendo, and when it gets to that part, I don't know why I'm.
You
so
like
happy.
those? You like
I
those?
Love it.
Tug at the heartstrings.
All right. Well, how about at the end of Coco, where he's singing the song to the grandmother, Coco? That one puts me in absolute tears. Now, it's a little different than a chicken singing Gnarls Barkley.
You gotta understand, it's a crescendo that builds to that, right?
Okay.
It's there's a whole like sequence, and then it gets to the chicken singing.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have it on the video screen. Now that I see it, yes, wow, what a tearful moment.
Those incredibly talented chickens.
Well, the holiday season begins in earnest when Oprah Winfrey's annual list of favorite things arrives, showing America all of the wonderful things we probably can't afford this season.
Do you remember how huge this used to be when she would have that episode?
Yeah. And by the way,
in fact, things our favorite things when we first did the Christmas Miracle, that's what it was based on.
Yeah.
The original name was Things That Make Us Explode in Our Pants.
That's correct. By the way, Kathy's holiday activities list will be coming sometime soon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much ready. Marissa and I were talking about yesterday.
We're waiting on some musical accompaniment for that, so it's on the way.
Strange
My God, that was sexy the way she said that.
Ew, really? Don't ever say that.
But you went, yeah.
That's how I feel about holiday
I know.
activities.
That's what turns you
She
on.
bites her lower lip
no, thank you.
like Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Activities.
So
Floral and Hardy.
And she followed that up with, ew, don't ever say that.
Because it came from you. That's
I know,
weird.
I know. And on Wednesday,
Oh my God, I'm so moist. Winter activities. This year including Hanukkah and Ramadan.
All right, so, and on Wednesday, even the 64-year-old admits that the list has gotten a wee bit out of hand in recent years. She said, these days, choosing my favorite things makes me a little cuckoo. What started as an organic extension of wanting to treat people to some of the things I truly love has turned into an annual list that takes a team to curate. I then go through every item, picking my favorites and narrowing the selection to my own. It's a process, but because it's important to me to remain as true to my original inspiration as possible. My guideline, do I really like it enough to want to receive it myself? So that's how she decides what's going to be on here.
Look at the judgment parameters. She's a multi. What is she, a billionaire now at this point?
Yeah. But she still likes fun stuff.
Yeah.
You know, little
Maseratis.
Yeah, little Maseratis you can play with. Perhaps the most infantile is a onesie sweatsuit for adults, dubbed the jumpsuit. In L.A., relax.
I already have one.
Onesie, we're running $168.
I have one that has Michael Dukakis' picture on it.
Yes. Like a onesie for grown-ups, this jumpsuit is a pleasure to wear on a long trip because you can curl up in it and still look fresh when you get where you're going. The stripe down the leg sure does slenderize as well, she says.
Hey, have you seen anything that's this year's Snuggie? You remember like a couple of Christmas seasons ago?
Yeah. Did you see it's like an oversized hoodie sweatshirt?
No, I have not seen
it. You can kind of like snuggle into.
So like you can pull it all the way up over you
All
and
right,
everything?
so you know how like you and I don't do things like this, or like guys, we don't like cuddle up on the couch and crawl up into like a little ball, right? and sit up straight. So it's meant for girls
Who bend their
that.
knees and I know.
Yeah, who bend their knees.
So pull the end of it down over like a full blanket. I got you.
Yeah, like kind of put the legs
I
over
do.
to the side.
I sit like this. With like,
yeah, it's called a huggle. Is that what it's called? Yeah, there it is.
The huggle hoodie.
Huggle hoodie.
Case, go do it on our couch.
I can. I'm not flexible enough to do that.
I can't bend my knees up like that. I do pull my arms into my shirt from time to time, though.
Yeah, you do in meetings sometimes too.
Yeah,
What I found out on
there are a couple things. The hand tuck under the thighs as you're sitting there. I like to build a pillow wall along my sides to keep airflow at a minimum.
Right.
On Fox Good Day, here we go, friends. With your hours, do you even share a bed with your partner, Preston?
Oh, sorry.
He was distracted.
I was distracted for a moment.
Kathy's so pretty today.
I do not share a bed. My wife and I have not slept together for, dare I say, decades now because of the time difference and just our overall preference in sleeping arrangements. And because she likes it warm, I like it cold. She likes it the TV on. I like it dark. So we decided years ago, nobody's getting any sleep. Why don't we split up? And so therefore, we don't have little squabbles or anything like that.
Yeah.
Are you
A sleep divorce, is that what they call it?
Yeah, sleep divorce. Are you in separate rooms?
Yes, absolutely. Have to be.
Yeah.
You're in the bathroom.
When it comes to romantic times, do you meet someplace else?
Oh.
No, you just stay by yourself in your room.
Yeah, essentially. She calls me, we FaceTime, and we make
I'm
it
going to get romantic tonight, honey, so don't come in.
But yes, we do. We will meet up in one of the rooms, and we enjoy it. It's kind of fun. It's like, okay, where today?
Like a date night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Steve, you're up.
Yeah, when I'm making love to Preston's wife, we tend to... No. Yeah, it's the same thing. Honestly, my wife has a particular way she likes to sleep, like almost like an iguana, no air moving. It's different. It works for her. We are sleep divorced in that way. But you know what? We used to fight a lot, about sleeping, and I don't like being cuddled and spooned. I want to go to sleep. It gets too. I get too warm. Don't touch me.
And if you're not getting sleep, you're not going to be happy.
Right.
Nobody's happy.
I adore my wife, but it's uncomfortable.
Yes. Kathy
just walked out.
She actually just left the studio.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
She's.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
I think she's coming over to make love to you. She gets so turned on by your voice.
Oh my gosh.
Some people want to watch TV.
I don't. I need silence. Complete silence.
Really?
I can't do the TV thing. Yeah.
What's your take, Preston, on snoring? It can be bothersome.
Well, I snore a little bit. She snores a little bit, and therefore, I hate it. I can't. There's no way I could be in the same room with someone snoring. I would not be able to sleep at all.
Have you guys ever had someone record you snoring to? Because I know I didn't believe that I snored, and it's shocking, isn't it?
Yes, a woman friend of mine recorded me snoring on her phone to prove that I did.
And what did you do once you heard yourself? How'd you
I
feel?
threw her out. No.
Yeah, hit the streets.
Now it's embarrassing. I don't know why it's embarrassing because people do snore.
A lot of people snore.
Yeah.
But I wish I didn't.
It's okay. We're having a support group later
You're
on at
among
3
friends.
o'clock. Yeah.
I am Mike and I
cry.
snore.
Yes. Hi, Mike. Or let's say Michael Mike. Yeah.
See you guys.
All right, we'll see you later, guys. Take care. Okie dokie.
Is that delay still happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to tweak it.
Yeah.
It's harshing my buzz.
It makes communication difficult.
It does.
Absolutely. All right. Kathy left.
Yeah,
So
all right.
why don't we do the Kathy's back in now? Okay. Now, if it's okay, can we do traffic,
Full
Kath?
issue?
All right. Yeah.
Yep,
That's all good. It's all good. So what's going on so far this morning, traffic-wise?
Okay, we got stop traffic on 295 northbound from Route 130 to the 42 freeway. 42 stopped from 295 to 676. There's an accident in the left lane. That is all through that construction there. So a lot happening, which is causing all of this stop traffic in the area. 55 northbound, you're stopped from 47 to 42. So extra volume this morning in New Jersey. An accident on 422 has it jammed from Limerick to Collegeville. An accident off to the right shoulder, Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound, so 2nd Street Pike to Fort Washington. Delays on the Schuylkill Expressway eastbound go from the Blue Road into Belmont, the Boulevard to South Street westbound side. Jams from the Boulevard to the Blue Route northbound heavy 95 to the Media Bypass southbound. The Mid-County tolls to the Schuylkill Expressway. Northeast Extension, northbound, a disabled vehicle at Quakertown in the right lane. That's causing traffic back to Lansdale. This traffic report brought to you by Colonel Seasons, available at Walmart with Colonel Seasons popcorn seasoning. You can turn what into what the what. Just add interesting with Colonel Seasons today, available in the popcorn aisle. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by A.D. Moyer, your professional source for decks, windows, doors, millwork, and more. ADMoyer.com. A 49-year-old man was injured after he was dumped from a trash truck into a landfill yesterday.
What was he doing in a trash truck?
Police said in a Facebook post that the operator had retrieved a waste container in Detroit and was emptying it at the Woodland Meadows landfill when he noticed a man get up from the ground and walk away. The man was reportedly treated by an ambulance on the scene. Police say he was then transported to a local hospital for minor injuries.
I feel like garbage.
No additional details were provided this time. I immediately thought of Better Off Dead. Man, people throwing away a perfectly good white boy in the trash as he's riding down in the trash truck. So, I don't know. I guess maybe the guy fell asleep in a dumpster.
It's quite possible.
You know, he's lucky.
They're very comfortable.
He is lucky he is alive. A lot of
He
people
wasn't compacted.
die from that, yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of dying, a British base jumper died after plunging 400 meters from a mountaintop in Italy. Mark Andrews, who was 65, was killed instantly after falling down the rock face in Trentino while wearing a wingsuit. He is thought to have been wearing a parachute. However, it remains unclear if he was unable to deploy it, while police said that the exact circumstances were under investigation.
That's the problem with those wingsuits is
I
that
know.
you have to be up really high to use them.
They look so cool.
They look phenomenal.
Like it would be amazing to do it, but those guys fly really close to the ground.
They do.
So the tragic accident occurred on Saturday morning at a popular base jumping spot in the Italian Dolomites at Paganella, near the city of Trento. Mr. Andrews had reportedly gone to the site on his own before a fellow base jumper called the emergency services after they watched the horrific accident unfold. It is understood that Mr. Andrews died close to the spot where another British skydiver perished exactly a year before. Mr. Andrews, who had been living in Bucharest with his wife, was a lover of base jumping and posted clips often of his escapades. The 65-year-old retired engineer is said to have been a relative latecomer to base jumping as a sport. However, he had completed nearly 600 jumps before.
That's a
his death.
lot.
So he was, he'd done it.
So he jumped off
quite a bit.
He jumped off the cliff, right?
Yeah.
And he was wearing a wingsuit.
Yes.
And his intent obviously was to wing fly, right?
Yeah, correct.
That didn't happen.
And I don't know if it happened, far along the route, if he clipped something and then fell, or if there was a malfunction in his suit. I don't know.
Well, you see when they do what they call threading the needle, where they'll fly between.
Oh. It's insane. Like natural bridges and stuff, they'll fly through those. Oh, my God.
Not me.
A mountain rescue helicopter was brought in to recover the body as he was later flown to a nearby hospital to await repatriation.
You know the movie Cliffhanger? They filmed that there in these mountains in the Dolomites in Italy. Yeah, and they're really striking mountains with sheer cliffs. So I guess that's part of the reason why it's appealing to to these types of jumpers. But that's where they shot the movie.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. What's that about an avalanche?
A man was arrested Sunday night after witnesses called 911 to report that they saw him messing with an elk. Sunday night, officers responded to the report at the elk fields, by the way.
You don't mess with an elk.
Officers were told that a man in a University of Washington shirt was, quote, messing with the elk. I don't know what messing with it means.
Sexually?
No, I don't think so. When witnesses called 911, they told officers the man went after them. One person told officers the man threatened them with a gun.
Wow.
When they arrived, the man attempted to leave in a truck, and once officers noted a bottle of vodka in the truck's cup holder, and he was detained for a DUI investigation. The man was found to be unarmed.
I'm going to go mess with that elk.
He was booked into jail.
I'm going to pants him.
Driving while intoxicated. So, Nick, I subscribed to the Taurons of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
There's a guy.
I saw this.
And he's done this more than once, Steve. The bear.
The bear dude.
He will pull up next to a bear on the side of the road. He will get out of the car, rip his shirt off, and run at it like the Hulk, and then the bears run off. Do we want to do a death pool on this guy now? Because
you know how it's going to end.
There's no way he is going to survive.
Yeah.
There's a grizzly
He's been lucky.
is going to kill him. It's insane. Wild dash cam footage shows an hour-long chase involving a stolen school bus and multiple law enforcement agencies Tuesday morning.
Perfect escape vehicle.
Yeah, Chad A. Murdoch allegedly hijacked the school bus in Cincinnati around 10:15 a.m. before leading police across state lines into Indiana. The 32-year-old raced through cornfields and numerous yards trying to escape police before getting stuck in a field. There's video footage of him driving through these fields.
Cornfields.
Bus. It's crazy. Officers eventually deployed a tire deflation device successfully, which caused the tires of the bus to flatten.
The students must have got a kick out of it.
At approximately 11:15 a.m., the wild pursuit ended. Officers boxed the bus in as it drove through another field, causing Murdoch's rampage to stop in Indiana. The alleged bus hijacker was taken into custody. Multiple police vehicles were damaged due to collisions with the bus during the case. Fields and yards also sustained lots of damage. A 17-year-old is facing a felony charge after officials say she allegedly attempted to order a hit on a 7-year-old.
A hit on a 7-year-old?
Yeah, and
my mother would just spank me.
Listen, officials were contacted on Friday for a report at midnight of someone visiting the parody website called rentahitman.com. How many times have I mentioned them in the Bizarre File?
At least 7 or 8.
With the intention to hire someone to kill a young child. The webmaster of the website told officials that the person
My son didn't brush his teeth. I'd like you to kill him.
that allegedly visited the website 2 times and provided the child's private information, including their name and location. An investigation was launched immediately, and officials were able to identify the child and possible suspect. An officer went undercover and posed as a hitman while making contact with the suspect And the officer was able to confirm that the potential suspect allegedly wanted their target killed. The 17-year-old suspect was taken into custody Friday, and further interviews were conducted. Officials were able to determine that the solicitation was a credible threat against a 7-year-old child.
My 7-year-old was running with scissors. I want you to take him out.
So they were charged with 1 count of solicitation to commit murder, a Class C felony, and was referred to juvenile court.
So what's the average going price for a hit these days?
I don't know.
What do they have a pricing structure on that website?
That's a good question. But usually when I do hear in these stories, sometimes it's like, $2,500, $5,000, like not ridiculous
I was
amounts.
like $20,000, $30,000.
Not ridiculous amounts of money. Wow.
It's very cost effective, actually.
That is what I have in the bizarre file for you, my friend. All right, let us take a break. A little bit later on this morning, we're going to have Ray Didinger stopping by and Gordon Clapp. They're talking about the show that's running at the Bucks County Playhouse now called Tommy and Me. It's about Tommy McDonald. And so we'll get those guys in here. And before all of that, make sure you text the word secret to 39333 because we have tickets to give away a chance for you to win passes to see Tracy Morgan Friday, October 13th at the Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. By the way, a couple new Daily Rush videos. You know what? I'll hit those when we come back. I'll mention those. But there's a lot of good stuff video-wise through PrestonandSteve.com. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
I can't breathe. So those are Oprah's, some of her favorite things this year.
Okay.
What about the $1 billion? Is that one of her favorite things? No.
Please welcome the one and only Mr. Mickey Hart.
Yay! All right.
Morning,
okay.
Mickey.
Wow, I love the way you did that.
Well, thank you. I love the way you're
that was really great. You had rhythm. You had rhythm.
See?
Thank you.
Who could ask for anything more?
Let's get right into that. I love that you love rhythm so much. It's a huge part of your life.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's not melody and it's not harmony, but it certainly is rhythm.
You were exposed to percussive instruments and rhythm early on. Your dad was well known and well respected.
And I wouldn't go that far.
He was a musician?
He was a musician?
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, really? All right.
But he did dabble.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
then you were working in a you had a job and you were
I had a job once.
A jazz club?
Once.
Yeah.
A long time ago. I can't remember having the last time I had a job. Just thinking of the idea of having to have a job just give me the willies. I mean, what would I do with the job? Oh my God.
You wouldn't be a 9-to-5 guy working the cubicle?
No, I doubt it. But if I had to, I would.
You would.
Yeah, but I don't have to, and I won't.
Yeah.
But so you don't view what you do as a job?
Oh no, it's a service. It's a service industry. I mean, that's what music is all about. You know, you provide a place where people can come and have an emotional moment,
right?
And and ritualize. So. Yeah, I know, and I think it's very profound, and I'm very, what should I say, honored or blessed or whatever you want to call it, to happen to fall into this universe as a percussionist or a drummer. You know, to be able to do that is,
But maybe even people.
It's a good thing.
Yes.
People who are maybe in the same situation as you, viewing it as a job. The fact that you don't view it as you view it the way you do.
It's not easy, but it's not like a job. It's like when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is think of, the new day and what kind of new rhythms there are in it and how I can interpret that. And that's what musicians do. They interpret, society and whatever you've seen or whatever it is, and they lay down that groove. And every 5-10 years you find a new groove, and you work at it. Yeah, you do work at it, but you work at play. You work to play.
Sure.
You have to keep your skill up. I play every day 2-3 hours.
Do you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Absolutely. In order to get up there and do what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an athletic event. It's not like lounge drumming and stuff. This is the power stuff.
Well, speaking of reinventing and finding new grooves, I want to ask you about John Mayer, because he's been with the band and touring with you guys for a stretch now, and I think a lot of people initially dismissed him as poppy and not the really great, incredible guitarist that he is. And from my perspective, he seems like the perfect fit for the Dead because he holds you guys in reverence, but he can also hold his own. What are your impressions on John?
John's a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
You know, he's a gunslinger, you know, as it were. And his guitar, he's beautiful. He plays great. He fits perfectly in the band, and he's a nice guy. I mean, I know he has this reputation and all that stuff, but I've never had a moment of weirdness with him. He's just a very pleasant person to be around, and he plays his ass off. You know,
before he was a star, he played in the conference room down the hall in these offices. And I went to see his show that night, and one of his strings broke during the performance. He tuned the guitar to itself and kept it. He didn't miss a beat. And right then, I knew this guy had it, and I was so impressed by his ability.
I'll tell you when I knew he had it was one day when he was just joined the band, and I had gotten him into this droning things, feeding back, you know, getting a little crazy. And so during the drums and bass part, he got down on his knee and he put the guitar into the speaker and he started feeding back. And I was looking at him and I was saying, oh, okay. So I walked around to the front of the speaker, sat down right next to him, and I had on one hand I had what do you call it, lighter fluid.
Yeah.
And the other hand I had a Bic.
Okay.
And so he looked at me, I looked at him, and I went like that. And for a minute, I thought he was
going to do it.
You know, and then so he took it. He did take it while he was feeding back, and he put he put the Bic on his amplifier, and he took the lighter fluid and used it as a slide. And so he played slides with lighter
didn't go
fluid.
full Hendrix on
and I said, John, you were going to do it, weren't you? And he said, you know, I was really thinking about it, but the guy who makes my guitar is in the audience. I couldn't do it. But he almost lit his guitar on fire, so I knew right then he was okay.
Wow.
I was wondering if you had watched the Grateful Dead documentary that was on Amazon and what your thoughts were.
No.
It was very in depth.
Oh God, it was just awful. I just did not like it.
You didn't care for it.
It was just a one-sided affair. It was not for me, and it really didn't show the Grateful Dead in its totality. It was more like a Jerry, you know, whatever that is, memorial thing or whatever. He was trying to do, but it wasn't really. It didn't have the heart of the Grateful Dead.
Okay,
that's for sure.
There's been a lot done about it.
They made me watch. Oh, I watched it once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to say I didn't like it. But that's it. I didn't see it at the premiere. Me and Bob and Bill, we went out and had dinner.
Yeah.
While they showed the movie.
That's funny.
We came back right at the end when they all started. And we go, okay.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about some of the things that you do like. I was listening to the concert in Paris, 1974, this morning.
Yeah.
What was it besides the United States? What was your favorite country to play in?
Oh, Jesus, that's a good question. I think that I can't answer that question because they're all good when you play good. You know, every country is the same.
Yeah.
If the music is played well and we have a great time, France is great, England's great, Germany, it's all good if we play well. If we don't play well, the city sucks.
This place,
we blame it on the city.
Blame it on the city.
Of course. Franklin Port.
I also, as a fan, there's an ebb and flow to the way I listen to your music, and so recently I flowed back to. I guess I ebbed back to. I ebbed back to studio albums. Do you? I don't know if you ever listen to your own music.
No.
But do you have a favorite studio album?
Yeah, I would have to say it would be, it was half studio and half live. It was called Anthem of the Sun. I think it was our second record, back 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was probably my favorite. American Beauty, Working Man's Dead. They were nice, fuzzy, warm.
See, my first album I ever bought was Mars Hotel, so I automatically go back to that one. And Unbroken Chain. And
we were never very good in the studio. We never could cage the animal in the studio.
When did you realize that? It seemed to be early on.
Yeah, well, we thought we could make. No one knew how to make a record. But
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know how to make anything. We were just musicians at the time, and we weren't really savvy on the studio. No one had a studio.
Right.
Now I have a studio. Everybody has a studio. So we just weren't producible. There was too much anarchy in the band. Too many people wanting to do, they had strong opinions of it. So, and we never really liked it in the studio with the four walls. It was too captivating. We were like a captive in the studio. And we never really made a great record.
You guys had a pop explosion in the late 80s when you hit with Touch of Grey and Hell in a Bucket, In the Dark. Was that fun? Was that cool? Was it neat seeing a whole bunch of people who maybe had not been turned? You always had legions of loyal fans, but here all of a sudden, boom, you had fresh music. And the tour was gigantic. Was it fun?
Oh, yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't quite like that.
Okay.
What happened was we were already playing stadiums at the time. That was in 87.
Yeah.
So instead of playing 1 or 2 days at the stadium, we're playing 3 days at the stadium.
Yeah.
So it really didn't affect us much. We just
You guys were touring sold-out shows anyway.
We didn't feel it, which we were playing stadiums.
Yeah, but you know what? I
was
found
more
out about you guys
incremental.
because of the Touch of Grey. There was a music video. I was young at the time, so so you guys had a music video, so you were totally reaching an audience. That,
we never did the videos or anything. We never did a single. So we weren't really part of the music industry. We never played that game, and. If we lived by the single, we would die by the single. If we didn't have a hit.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember becoming aware of the Grateful Dead, through the iconic artwork that was associated with the band.
Yep.
What's that about? What's that about? So that predates, obviously, videos, but still, a visual medium brought me into the awareness of the music, which is very cool.
Exactly. It mirrored the music. In the old days, how that started was these artists would come to the shows, and we were all getting high, on psychoactive drugs, taking acid and whatever. And these were physical representations of what the music sounded like. They would go home and they would start painting, and they're still high, and that's what these things were representing. They were representing the music.
How were you vetting that, or was it just sort of, if you want to do it, or would you guys kind of consciously say, I don't like that, doesn't represent our band right, or was it just an open source?
Well, luckily in our case, the people would come up with these incredible,
iconic stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we just had to choose between the good stuff. I mean, it was so much good around. A lot of people went home and just did it, and it was uncommissioned.
Yeah,
they just went out and said, "This has to be done."
Wow.
And so then all of a sudden we looked at them, we go, "That's us." And they go, okay, cool.
That's cool.
That's it.
Let me ask you, with the art and your painting, I mean, did people automatically take to it? Were you afraid you were going to get here's a musician trying to be a painter sort of deal?
I'm not afraid.
Yeah. So what was that jump like, and how well were you received initially? Because I mean, honestly, we were looking at the stuff. It's pretty amazing looking.
There it is.
Yeah. So what was that initially like?
Well, I didn't think of it as it's art.
It is art.
Came out. It's
right.
You follow the muse. I mean, you're an artist. The thing that turns you on, makes you do things artistically. And first time I did it, I walked into the house, and my daughter looked at it and she said, Dad, this got legs.
That's pretty good.
Legs. She liked it.
Yeah.
And so if my daughter liked it, and she doesn't like much.
Does she like the Dead? Does she like
that?
Okay.
So I said, okay. I'll pay. If you like it,
Thanks, Kath. Hey, yes, new Daily Rush video. It is Justin Collette talking about Beetlejuice. The actor came by, played Beetlejuice on stage here in Philadelphia. And that runs through the 11th, so the shows are still going on. But it says here, the spectral bioexorcist from Beetlejuice the musical stops by the studio to talk about his time at Second City, how musicals are developed, and working with the kids of the School of Rock on Broadway. And sponsored by Xfinity's Gatespeed Internet. Learn more at xfinity.com, and you can watch now at WMMR.com/Daily Rush. And I watched another one of our Keenan's videos yesterday. Oh, it was Pornhole. which was so much fun.
It is great.
And the people in the GIMP masks were lovely. Saw the story yesterday, and I was sad. You know, we see people that pass that we've never known but have some kind of an effect in our lives via the arts or whatever it may be, sports. And a woman by the name of Astrid Gilberto passed away. She was the Brazilian singer who is singing on The Girl from Ipanema. This is her, yes.
And I guarantee you've heard this song.
Yeah.
I don't care how old you are.
Take a look for yourself and see Mickey Hart's work. It's called Vibrational Expressionism, The Art of Mickey Hart. And Sunday, back out this way, King of Prussia, noon to 2. Is there a spot where we can go to get all this information, a website or anything, you guys?
I just want to meet the King of Prussia.
We all do.
And I want to see Mrs. Prussia.
Sure.
Mr. Prussia. And all of the little Prussians.
All the Prussiettes. Yeah.
I'm actually Mrs. Prussia.
She is.
Yeah.
She shops there all the time.
I heard that she cooks.
Oh,
You heard wrong.
have heard wrong, sir.
Wrong, Mrs. Prussia.
She makes reservations. Yeah.
I can make a mean reservation.
She makes a mean reservation.
She makes a mean Romanoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give some love to the one and only Mr. Mickey Hart.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by. In South America, it's it's the original is sung in Portuguese. It's a Brazilian song.
I've heard it sung in its original language.
It's great. So, and in fact, the non-single version of this starts off in Portuguese, and it's her husband, a guy named João Gilberto, who is singing. And so Stan Getz was recording this song with a bunch of Brazilian musicians, and Astrid, whose husband was Brazilian, spoke English, and she was there as just kind of an interpreter, so she could relay what people were trying to communicate with each other. And they decided that this is a great song. We'd like to do a version of it. Stan Getz wanted to do a version of it, and they wanted to include some English lyrics. So they rewrote them to make to make a little sense in English. And
no Santeria.
She happened to be the only one amongst that group that really spoke English.
Well,
and she was not a trained singer.
Because she sort of sings it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and it's but I love it.
But she just happened to be there. They're like, oh, let's record it with Astrid. And I love her voice. I think it's something slightly haunting about it. It's really beautiful.
It's timeless.
Yeah.
I'll call it timeless.
Is one of the reasons why you consider it elevator music because of Blues Brothers?
Maybe.
Yeah.
The scene when they're headed up to pay the taxes, it's playing. There's a Muzak version.
It's the song in the background.
Nick, I think it's used in an elevator sequence in Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
All right.
When they get in the mall.
Is that a nod to Blues Brothers?
Yeah, it could be because that takes place in the mall as well.
But it's such a and I've always been a little embarrassed about the fact that I really love that song as much as I do. Just a little bit. I don't know. And it's silly.
I know. All right.
You know what I mean?
I know. I have a song that I love the song Cherish. You know the song Cherish?
Cherish is the word
I use to describe. I don't know how many times I wish that I could love you. Oh.
Yeah.
And it's one of those songs.
Cherish me as much as I cherish you, and I do.
We should play iPuss again.
Yes, we should.
But this almost even transcends iPuss. This is what elevator songs?
Yes, feel free, share.
Yeah.
What do you love? And not just like really elevator music.
Yeah.
By the way, Marissa has the original or the version where he's singing in Portuguese at the beginning. It says Walper. Is your name Walper?
Walter.
Honestly, wouldn't you at least say
Walper?
Is this Judge Wapner calling in?
You got a nickname now, Walter.
Oh my God! Yeah, you hear what happened to a Walper?
That's not even a mistype. I'm looking at the T and the P are like nowhere near each other on the keyboard.
Walper.
Name's Walper.
Let me get that straight. Your actual name is Walter. And what happened to you? So what happened to you, Walter?
All right. Well,
all right.
I've broken my hand.
Yeah.
I've fractured
fractured all my ribs.
Were these fights over your weird name, Walter?
Oh, yeah.
What is it? Which one?
Madonna crazy for you?
I would almost think in this realm, that would almost be like a Tool song compared to.
Yeah,
right.
That's very poppy.
But I mean, these are songs that I'll give you another one, and it's an older song.
All right.
I do like this song.
I do like this song.
I love the songs that embarrass you guys. I'm like, what's wrong with these?
I'm gonna punch you.
But at least you got a great nickname today.
Walper.
Well, hang in there, brother, okay?
From Touchstone Pictures, the inspiring story of a man named Walper. I've seen him. He's got some medical issues, but the worst thing is his name is Walper. And then a young therapist came into his life. I am Kathy Romano. We're going to change that P to a T.
Simple as that.
And then his life turned around.
I'm the head of a Fortune 500 company. And I can do the saber dance.
That morning show's not making fun of me anymore.
Oh, man.
So the Kardashians won big as well last night, and they had a weird speech. They were trying to thank firefighters and stuff, and they actually made their win a tribute to the firefighters. And listen, see if you can hash this out. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
It's been a really rough week in our home in Calabasas, Hidden Hills, and our neighbors in Thousand Oaks and Malibu. Our hearts are broken from the horrific shootings and those who have lost their lives and homes, as well as the hundreds of thousands of us that have been evacuated from the devastating fires that are currently burning. So thank you so much to all of the people that have voted for us. This is such an honor.
Did you make that leap there? Did you make that leap?
Okay.
There's a lot of fire out there, but thank you for voting for us.
Are they dedicating the award?
It gets to that at the end, yeah.
All right.
I'd like to dedicate this win to all of the firefighters, the law enforcement, and the first responders.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
I'd like to thank the people what put out the fires.
Like, it just doesn't seem very genuine ever when it comes from them.
You can see the guys who are really, eating smoke and battling flames up. I got great news, guys! Kardashian was dedicated to us!
Like, I get to see them sitting around, like, when we win, we should, like, dedicate to somebody so it makes us look good.
Listen, I want to tell everyone up there on the mountain, you guys doing a great job. The Kardashians just donated their win to you. I feel sorry for. I just want to carry that into the fire with you.
That's the chief going on the radio to tell all the guys.
Attention everyone, the Kardashians just donated their win on the People's Choice Awards to you. So I hope that inspires you to go marching into those flames and that superheat and that whipped up win. No word on Little Women Elliot.
Yeah. No. During the final night of the Experience in Innocence tour in Berlin, Bono made a comment that has fans fearing that this is the end of the iconic band. He said, "We've been on the road for quite some time, just going on 40 years, and this last 4 years have been really something very special for us. We're going away now." So that led people to think that maybe the band is done.
Doesn't mean that the band is breaking up or that we're going away or stopping performing. We're just taking a well-deserved trip to the Great Wolf Lodge. Where parents can drink while their kids ride down water slides.
It is amazing there.
It is amazing. Kathy says it's amazing too.
Yeah. Well, none of the kids would recognize you two, so they could be pretty, they could be in obscurity for a moment.
You can literally drink in the pools there.
You can literally drink in the pool and piss in the pool at the same time. If it's so chlorinated, it doesn't make a difference. I took a full level bowel movement and no one could tell because the water was so chlorinated, it just ate it right up. All the fecal matter dispersed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
What's that?
That's no.
Oh, you did it as well, Kathy?
No, that's
You dropped a bomb in the pool? You popped a landmine out?
That's not.
You put a depth charge in the deep end?
A full level bowel movement.
And no one was the wiser. Even the edge was standing right next to me. He was totally enveloped in my poop cloud and had no idea.
No idea.
That's a quality pool there.
I
think most people, upon moving into a house, remove all the demonic paintings? It's part of the deal. You know, a lot of people will change the pentagram carpet for maybe like a light shag.
We had our house built. I like the fact that we're the very first people to own the home.
But are you?
Because
on an Indian graveyard, right? That's where you.
Yeah. They didn't remove the graves.
You know what? We had to blast to actually get to pour the foundation. So I'm pretty certain there was nothing below.
So it was
where
a lot of fun.
So what's that?
It was a blast.
It was a blast.
Yes. Where you saw bones flying and pieces of coffin.
But I like the fact that when we're done and gone, or when we eventually decide to move on, that that was we made that. We had a say in how that thing was put together. And
in here was where the owner was caught pleasuring himself by his wife, unaware that the light from his laptop was obscuring his vision. Follow me into the observatory.
I was wearing headphones too. I didn't hear her come in. Kathy shakes her head.
Headphone, like you were all in.
Oh, hey, you can't do that half-ass, man.
No. Clearly.
You gotta go all in.
He was vigorously providing himself with pleasure. His wife called out to him, but he could not hear because he was listening to his headphones. And here is the pool table, where pool is seldom played, but clothing is full.
My daughter and I played pool the other night.
Oh, there you are.
Right. First time in a while. She asked me to, but yes, it's become a laundry table. Oh my God! Yeah, what are the other wonderful things? What are the other
as they lead the tour?
Horrible things that have happened.
one stays in this house after night.
The dining room where no one eats, they drink, right? Isn't there a bar in there?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let's not forget the old house with the haunted litter box.
It was on a rainy night when the owner awoke from many hours of drinking and raised a shotgun to the automatic kitty litter cleaner, yelling out, "I want to see you."
I've got a gun.
I've got a gun. I gave him 10 seconds to get out of the house. Which I thought was,
We should all design haunted tours of our current houses. Dumb crap.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
My brother thinks my house is haunted. He's said that since the day we've moved in.
No
He said there's somebody that lives here with you.
Wait, your country house?
Yeah, my
Really?
current house. Yeah, since the day that my brother lived
You're the
with me
first owners.
for a little while, and he said he's like I hear them. He goes they walk around.
Wait. Did you have the house built?
Yes.
Okay, so you're the first owner.
We are the first owner. There was a house.
Place is too clean.
No, but Preston, there was a house there that was knocked down.
Okay.
And actually, the man who has since passed away, he was a wonderful man, lived across the street from
I
me.
hope you rot in hell.
No, well, he did the masonry work on the house. And he told me one time, he goes, yeah, when they were tearing down that house, he goes, I sat outside and watched. He goes, I did, all of that work on the house. And I was like, oh my God,
man.
I'm so sorry.
So now it's haunted by Slender Manthe.
Yeah, so it's...
Slender Manthe.
I mean, I think it's just the house settling, but my brother thinks it's haunted.
These jeans?
Slender Manthe.
Do these jeans make me look hippie?
Big J.O.
Yes.
That's right, everyone. I'm here. I'm not Miss August or December.
No.
I don't know, Kathy. Any of that traffic, did it seem like something that would have kept Miss December out of here?
Yes, I think so.
I don't know where she was coming from.
Hey,
Did any of that traffic add up?
Were you here one time before when we rolled out the calendar?
He was.
Yeah, I feel
I was here for a calendar. I was here for Philadelphia's hottest trans.
Really?
Yeah.
You
Did
sure
we do
were.
that? I totally forgot.
Yeah, Philadelphia's sexiest lady boy.
You guys met, right? You guys got to hang out after.
So I've never seen more women in a room and not a pube for miles. I can guarantee it.
There was a weird situation we had you in, right?
It was his friend.
Yes,
Yeah, it ended up being a weird situation for my friend.
But stories to tell your children.
Yeah. I mean, we all found at the same time, and I don't remember what time it was, but it was definitely too late.
That's awesome.
I noticed that, and I said to you right away, you look like you've lost some more weight. And is it a bigger guy who has lost weight? Do you get tired of hearing that?
No, not at all.
Good.
I'll take it. I tried so hard. Yeah, I did. Every time I do a television thing, I'm like, well, this is probably the last time they're going to let me on television. So I should try to get one where I you know, it's already bad enough I do comedy sitting on a stool. So every time when I did my hour special on Comedy Central, I had already lost a bunch of weight to get to that size. And then sitting on a stool, every time they film you, you're like, this camera guy hates me.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't like me at all. Is that a pile of tires sitting on? So I knew for the Netflix special, I knew that I was going to be sitting again. So I tried again to lose weight. And then, you know, I didn't lose that much, but then I also learned how to sit with my back arched.
There you go.
Oh, you're doing all the cheats. Yeah.
And I covered my nipples with suds. I guess some people stole my idea. That's cool. That's
all
cool.
right.
I said everyone jump in.
You know, it's funny because and it happens. This is why we're on radio. I mean, Kathy and Marissa obviously are you know they're pleasant to look at, but we are not. And when we ever do any TV or anything, I'm like, dear God, do we look horrific? And people say, oh, there's a different angle. There's some people who've had actors and actresses come in here. They know their angle. They know, what's the best way for them to be their side.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? I
think if you ask those things, it makes me feel like I'm admitting too much bad about myself.
Yeah,
so I'm like, Donna, can you not film me from, I don't know, obviously sideways and from the floor, please?
What we've been talking about news-wise, you familiar with this this scam that took place, this GoFundMe?
Oh, yeah.
So they came by.
Never try to help one bum.
They came by last year. They came by our Camp Out for Hunger right after that story broke, and we interviewed all three of them on the air. And we got word of this yesterday that the three of them were in on this together.
In cahoots.
Oh my
all of them in
God.
cahoots, and then the one who wasn't getting enough money, the guy who was the homeless guy, he goes to take them to court. Yeah, and that's
Tries
how
to sue him.
it
To
goes
sue
to
him
sue
for not giving him his part of the scam.
Yes! Of the stolen money.
Never help one bum. You ever try to give a homeless guy food? They look at you like you're handing them a bag of someone's dump. It's really, they're like, what am I going to do with this? Like you're like, eat it. It's hot. It's food, and they're like, what? They're so baffled by it. Do a GoFundMe for like an overall like shelter or something. Like to give it to.
There you go.
I've never seen that work out good where you help one person.
With everything else going on, the show and everything, what's coming up for you? It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, pretty much just did the radio show's been doing great on Sirius XM, so pumping that out in the podcasts.
By the way, Dan says they were interviewing for something. They sent it over to us, and he was very complimentary about the show. You guys are always very complimentary when you're on other shows. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Getting the word out.
Oh, yeah, for you guys. Yeah, you guys are. I always think it's the coolest thing. The best nod you guys get is Joe Rogan, who needs no press anywhere he goes, always like shouts you guys and still gives you guys the
it's
nod.
awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
It means the world to us. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you saw Opie from Opie and Anthony sent like a kind of wrestling promo for him not doing his show. Did you see that on the street?
No.
Oh, it's very uncomfortable.
Oh. It never understood those dynamics. It was never anything that we got involved with. You just try to do the best. It's like what you do. You just do
your show.
Do your show.
We tried to start a radio war with Bob and Tom, but then they disbanded.
That's a shame.
Bob and Tom. You for the Bob and Tom have been around for a long. Well, used to be around for a long time.
They're garbage.
Keep it up.
They're junk.
Yeah, I'm like, and I look
it's the worst radio show I've ever done.
Really? Why?
They want you to do bits.
It's a yuck fest.
And I mean, and I was like, yeah, you don't want me to do bits. Like my bits are too. And they go, well, that's how it works here. I go, well, I'll leave. Like it's fine. And they go, we need you to do bits. I go, well, what do you want me to do? The one about this, and I'm just saying like vile things.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to do bits, it's gonna be like I can't. I'm like a dirty comic.
It's gonna be bad.
Hey, do the latest bit about your daughter. That.
Yeah. They got the things people when the hate mail I've gotten for that Netflix special, like the things people have to write to like when someone has to cite the parts they don't like, it is so funny reading that.
Oh my God! Oh, that has to be worth it alone.
He thinks there's humor and about his daughter's genitals. I'm like, why? How can you write that?
Does that bother you?
No, you know what's funny? I said it to someone. I ignore it all, but like the thing is, it doesn't bother me. It just I do still get an emotion, like involuntary.
Okay.
When someone writes like, this ruined my day, boycott Netflix and hashtag, all these hashtags will start about it. And you're just like, I swear to you, the intention of this was just to make you laugh. Understanding it might make some people go, "Oh, it's not my thing." But that's fine. But when someone's like, they have such like hatred for, and I said that what's funny is the complaint is always very personal.
Yeah.
Like I've done nothing personal. I've just made like a broad spectrum joke that somebody can twist to make it. He's talking about this. And
so we've had sometimes we're good. We don't get bombarded, but occasionally, like if someone will complain about something that I've done, I say, okay, but everyone has a personal thing that's their thing. You made fun of this, but did you laugh at this? But
I did point that out. I wrote back to one person, and I was like, I'm not going to write back to anything else.
Yeah.
But the person
if the person is thoughtful, you'll do it.
Well, the transgender joke was the one that caught some heat, which I saw coming. And then someone said where I made a joke about wishing it legal to beat your children, but with like a focused reason, not just like crazy abuse.
Yeah.
Again, it's like a joke. And someone wrote, as a victim of domestic abuse, it was like, as a victim of domestic abuse, I don't think it's appalling you would make a joke about that. And when I wrote back, I was like, again, that has nothing to do with what my joke's about. And I was like, sorry that happened to you. But I was also like, isn't it interesting that you complain about that only, and like the other complaints I got were about this trans joke. And I go, and both of you only complained about the thing that affected you personally. You know what I mean?
Right.
That person didn't go, and this, and then it's always like, it's just the one joke that hit them personally. And no one sees that before they start taking to the computer to be like, how can you say this one specific thing? And you're like, you got to either be mad at all of it or none of it.
Right.
Well, you're not out to hurt anybody. That's what gets missed.
That's the bummer. That's the bummer when people get upset.
You're trying to make people laugh.
My thing was to make you laugh.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand that you might not laugh, but
So
to have somebody go like, it's inspired you to go write like a 4-page letter to Netflix seems pretty like, it's awesome to some degree.
What kills me, Jay, is that and we always bring this up. Then there's about 45 million other shows on Netflix. Stop watching. Go move on to the next thing.
Really?
Or don't listen.
You're making me look such a bad boy in front of these chicks. Yeah, that's right.
They're eyeing you up. Yeah.
I was thinking about it on a long ride on my motorcycle the other day. I don't even know how to turn on a motorcycle. I've been on a motorcycle 2 times. Both times we're behind with my arms around a man's waist. And both times I burned my calf on the exhaust pipe. 2 for 2.
I think the most telling thing was you said, I don't know how to turn on a motorcycle.
I don't.
Turn on.
Is there?
Is that what we do? Do you turn it on?
You start it up.
You can make the sound.
I know there's something where I have to go like that. Right? I don't understand like the thing. It's all like the YouTube celebrity.
No.
A social media celebrity. I don't know how that kind of came out of nowhere. But sometimes like that Post Malone's got a song or two that like you're like. It's producers though. It's smart. That the Cash Me Outside girl, I've gone 180 on her. We went from like just crapping all over to think to I'm almost a fan. I bought a new Explorer yesterday, and you have to name it. You have to nickname it in the Ford app.
Yeah.
And I named it Bad Baby. That's her name. That's her rap name. I love her. And
isn't it Bobby? Like Barbie? Bad Barbie?
No, Bad Baby.
Okay, all right.
Bad Baby.
Okay.
She is garbage, but I love her. I've picked sides in the Whoa Vicky, Bad Baby argument.
Well, she's fighting now Iggy Azalea.
Yeah. Well, Whoa Vicky. You want to put a good side by side? Look at Whoa Vicky and Lamb Chop. Remember Lamb Chop? Sherry Lewis's Lamb Chop. I just really dated myself for all these hot chicks. You guys remember William Catt from America's Greatest Hero? The Greatest American Hero. We on the bonfire we do a thing. There's Whoa Vicky and some dude she was hanging out with got into they insulted.
They threw shade.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
And then came back with an apology. An apology video that's like 30 seconds long, and whenever we have to apologize in the bonfire, we had our producer like verbatim write it down.
See if you can look that up. It's Whoa Vicky.
It's Whoa Vicky apologizes Snoop Dogg. There's sentences that go nowhere. It goes, nah, I'm saying, because we don't even know be like when it come down. That's no exaggeration.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Marissa's going to try and search that and bring that audio.
I believe in Marissa. She can do this.
At the end of the day, we respect Snoop Dogg because he a real OG,
Yeah, shout out to Snoop. Like, I'm sorry for everything I said. I didn't mean like that. I make people happy, like, do funny videos. That's what I do. And I'm sorry for everything I did. like towards you and towards everybody that's with your shit, whatever. I'm sorry for everything.
Yeah, for real. Like, we really ain't know, like, what we was saying. Like, it was really off of the camera, no cap. Like, you know.
All right, it ends there. And by the way, that's like twin speak, by the way. That's
Yes,
like
when twins share a language.
Yeah, nobody else knows what the hell they're saying except for those two.
I have no idea what they said in it, but we have it written out. So whenever someone gets and they get mad at us at Sirius a lot, but we always gonna go. I'd like to say to John Fugelsang, you a real OG. I'm sorry for everything I said and what I said be like, because it sometimes be like that, and then you know I ain't know what I says and that stuff and you says. But we just like to say the name. He goes, I'd like to apologize to John Fugelsang. Say, man, sometimes. Our sincerest apologies to Radio Andy.
I love the concept of John Fugelsang being known in the hip-hop community.
John Fugelsang. All right, thank you. Big J. Okerson. Let's hear it from everybody. Thanks, bud.
Love you guys. Thank you so much, man.
The holidays are nigh, and Meghan Markle is about to celebrate her first Thanksgiving and Christmas as royal. But by all accounts, it's going to be pretty weird.
Sparkle Markle?
Well, first up, Thanksgiving. Some question whether the American-born Meghan will be allowed to celebrate the holiday, seeing as it commemorates that time many English-born pilgrims set forth on a long and dangerous voyage to flee political and religious persecution in their homeland.
I thought she and the royal family were going to go visit with the dad here in the States.
Last year, Meghan celebrated with her mother, Doria Ragland, in California. What's going to happen is to be determined, but the Queen reportedly hasn't forbidden the celebration by royal decree, and Meghan and Prince Harry don't have any events scheduled for the day, so she may be indulging in turkey and stuffing behind closed doors. Now, for Christmas, meanwhile, we want to hope she doesn't eat too much gravy because, listen to this. I've never heard of this before.
All right.
She will have to be weighed before her Christmas meal, per a juicy new report hailing from the royal expert Ingrid Seward. Apparently, every member of the royal family, including Harry, Prince William, and Kate Middleton, must be weighed before and after dinner on Christmas Day.
All right.
Wait,
after dinner, and do they get to poop first?
That I don't know about. But
what is this about, this bizarre thing?
It's a tradition. Okay, apparently the Queen asks guests to weigh themselves to ensure they're being well fed.
Oh, okay.
And once weighed, the guests must enter the dining room in order of seniority. Once seated, the head chef carves the turkey, and paper hats are donned, but not by the Queen. So everybody has to wear
wearing our paper hats, and it's so much fun. Where is the scale so we can see if we've put a lot of food into our tummies? Oh, look, I folded a flap on my paper hat. Oh, what fun.
So much fun.
Yes. Later on, we'll go out to a pit and murder some peasants.
Oh, my God. Damn. I've seen the paper hat thing.
Christmas.
I love Christmas. For the annual slaughtering of the peasants.
In a pit.
In a pit with our paper hats. And the one who catches my paper hat will be spared.
Oh, that's a nice tradition.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and your family. Congratulations on your adroit paper hat catching skills.
Oh, my God.
You're free to go.
Now for the rest of them, line up.
Really, the only way to enjoy Lorenzo's Pizza on the whole is to have some assistance. And we are doing that via a dental device, correct? Yeah. Okay, so Casey and Nick are going to put these lip spreaders in. That if you've ever gone to the dentist and you have to get some dental work done, they do this so it pulls your lips up and your cheeks out to the side so they can get in there and work really well.
Yeah.
So it's...
And for eating purposes, Preston, it gives you maximum coverage of the pie.
Yeah, and my favorite is pepperoni pizza.
Your favorite is...
Pepperoni pizza.
Pepperoni pizza.
I like pineapple.
You like pineapple?
Pineapple.
Okay.
I also like mushroom.
Excuse me?
Mushroom.
Mushrooms.
Mushroom. Yeah, mushroom.
All right, so is this, Preston, the specifics of this contest, are we talking the quickest to eat one slice fully?
I don't know.
I don't know.
How about the entire pie?
Let's just see how it goes.
Let's just see how it goes.
All right.
And we'll see who ate it best.
All right.
Okay. You guys ready?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, lick your lips.
All right, raise your pizza case. Get ready.
We have a split screen shot. By the way, you can watch this on Facebook.
Don't make me laugh.
All right, do what, Marissa? All right, cheers your pizzas.
cheers.
All right, cheers. And
Cheers.
on your mark, get set, and go. All right, here's the first bite.
Oh, my God.
Casey has to, you have to let gravity take effect, right?
Oh my God! Look at Nick.
That's
As if Nick couldn't get any more gross when he ate.
because your lips are not assisting.
All right.
I love you so much. I love you. Yeah. I love you.
Start eating.
He loves you. He loves you. Nick looks like he. Oh my God.
Don't make him.
He can't lick. Nick is laughing his ass off. Oh my God.
This is
Casey,
disgusting.
do you need something to drink?
I got it.
Okay, you got it? All right, so. Oh, Nick, did you take it out?
No.
Oh, okay, all right. Casey's going to take a drink. It's like a sprinkler.
It's disgusting.
Nick, here's some water if you need it.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much, Preston.
Try not to get any of it on the,
Don't laugh,
on
Nick.
the equipment. Don't get it on the equipment.
That was. Casey looks like he's looking at a UFO.
Hey, Maris.
Oh my God!
I don't want him to
Jesus
knock
is
that
up
over.
there.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Okay.
Nick's wiping his
He's
mouth.
wiping his mouth.
That's right.
Casey, I noticed
Okay, sir.
you're using the gravity method. You lean back.
Yes. Yeah, isn't it not her radio?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Nick is leaning forward, which I find kind of wild. All right, now he's tilting back. You got to let gravity take over. This looks like an inspiring story
Oh my God. It's
of
so
two
gross.
guys born without lips.
Oh my God.
It actually, Steve, it looks like the sequel to Hellraiser.
You know what, though?
What?
It's really delicious.
It is delicious.
Yeah.
It's Lorenzo's, of course.
How far along are you guys?
I'm almost done, Steve.
Now, Casey's about halfway. He's eaten more than you think he has. So
We want to do it to completion because I think they might hemorrhage.
I don't know. Case, what do you think?
Don't talk with food in your mouth.
Have more water, Case.
Actually, that'll help a little bit.
Yeah.
So Case is going to get a sip of water.
Kathy. Got anything in my teeth?
I'm sorry we're doing such a visual thing on the radio, but this is just hilarious. Casey,
This is my favorite sweatshirt.
it's his favorite sweatshirt.
Did you get some on your favorite sweatshirt?
Damn it. It's an absolute mess. I tell you what.
It makes you really appreciate.
Keep going.
Oh, it fell out. There.
I know they kind of slip out every now and then.
What?
I have no
They
idea.
kind of slip out every now and then. They slip out of your mouth.
Like this.
Hey, slip out of there.
Every now and then.
Hey, you say?
Yeah.
My dental.
It doesn't affect your yoga cards.
It doesn't affect your what?
Your yoga cards.
Yeah, your
Your
yoga.
yo-
card.
Yoga cards.
Yoga cards?
What?
Yoga cards. Yoga cards.
Oh, your vocal cords.
I thought you said yoga fan.
All right, keep it going. I think actually Nick is closing in on perhaps
I
finishing.
was so hungry.
Yeah.
I think are Casey's lip spreaders a little bit bigger than Nick's? yeah.
No, I think
His lips are almost pulled back to his ears.
I thought maybe Casey's mouth was a little smaller than Nick's, so it looks
No,
like that.
Nick is like a wood chipper.
Ew, Nick is drooling all over the place.
You can actually feed full pieces of lumber into Nick's mouth.
Not a delicate flower. My lip spreaders I got from a dentist.
He got his lip spreaders from a
This
dentist.
is legit.
All right, we're closing in.
You know what, though? I would pay good money to see Kathy do this, to be honest.
Oh, that,
I would pay
with her perfect teeth.
good money. That's a pair. They're clean. All right, just going to put them in. Why not? And have at least a bite. All right, Kathy. Oh, I can't believe you agreed to do this.
All right.
All right, she's taking a bite. Let's see.
Look at Kathy's teeth are perfect. Look at
They
them.
are perfect. They're absolutely perfect.
This is like that. This is like that special prom night, Kathy.
How's it taste?
It's stuck.
Exactly, because you can't assist the swallow.
She actually sounds very articulate with that. She's shaking her head to try to get it down into her throat. And there we go. Nice job, Kath. Not bad at all.
You want some more?
Yeah, I can't believe she did that. Did you guys finish? Casey's finished it.
No, he's not. He cheated. I called no fair.
What did he do?
He threw it in the trash.
Oh, he
can.
did.
All right.
Look at this. Look at this. It's a cheater.
We're going to Secaucus for the film. All right.
Preston, it looks like a fish pants.
Yes, it does. Stand up. Let's see that.
There you go.
I pissed my pants.
You did piss your pants. Okay, well, that's, you know what?
Declare a winner, or is this a tie?
I think it's a tie.
All
What do
right,
you guys
there you
think,
go.
right?
I mean, they both did a phenomenal job. Though Casey's human sprinkler impression was quite impressive.
I think you guys should kiss. I really do. I think it's. Oh my God. That is repulsive.
Food all over.
Oh man. You all right, buddy?
Yeah. You know what, though?
What?
I got to take my hair sweatshirt off to reveal my favorite pizza.
Oh, it says Delco.
We're happy to have him here, ladies and gentlemen.
Tony Rock is here.
That's how I'm coming on stage tonight, right there.
That's your song, right?
That's going to bring you out on
Take the
stage.
yeah.
I like it, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome back to Philadelphia.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
of course. You enjoying your butternut squash soup over there?
Butternut squash soup. Who knew?
Yeah. For
Right?
breakfast.
What's the restaurant downstairs? Harvest.
yeah.
Oh my God, butternut squash. Kind of tastes like sweet potato.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You know, now there's endorsement deals available.
Yes. Yes. Hey, I'm Tony Rock here for butternut squash.
Just in general.
Nothing gives you comedy cred like butternut squash. does it?
And this is how you sell it to men. And fellas, she'll dig it too. Have you noticed that? Every commercial,
Yeah.
when they want to sell something to men, it's like, it'll do this, energy, vitality, whatever, and then it's, fellas, she'll dig it too.
Well, what
And
I
the
love
guy's
is
like, oh, girl's gonna like it. I gotta get it.
I love it when they do you'll be a stallion in the boardroom and the bedroom.
They
Right?
did like those the Just for Men hair color things.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I used to color my beard because it's totally different color than my hair, and it turns out I was allergic to it. So I get these rashes on my face. But those commercials were like,
ladies will love it too.
You'll have a rash on your face, but chicks will dig it too.
yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat, man.
That's funny.
Wow. So you're in town. You're doing Helium Comedy Club. We are happy to have you back here. We were just off air talking about the show, and
Yes.
Steve, you and Casey.
It was Living Biblically was the show. It was on CBS. It was produced by one of the members of the Big Bang Theory,
Johnny Galecki.
Johnny Galecki.
Yes.
And I thought, and Casey thought as well, it was based on a popular book about a guy who decided to live a year of his life based on the Bible.
Like 100% according to the Bible for one calendar year. Yes.
Right, and so you were in the cast. I thought it was a solid cast, likable ensemble, a fun show.
But it was an amazing cast. It was Cameron Manheim, Ian Gomez, Johnny, Jay Ferguson.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Good people.
I just think people weren't ready to have the Bible in their face every Monday at 9 o'clock at night. Like every episode was the Bible says, and that was the episode. The Bible says, and then the show got canceled after 13 episodes. And then CBS came right back with another show.
God liked me on Facebook. Friended me on Facebook
something like that.
or something. Yeah. It's almost the exact same show, except it's a drama.
Yeah.
So
that always happens though. One show has to take the bullet so that another show can get through.
Well, let's see how this one does. It's doing well, but I thought that's got to suck because you've been in the business for a while,
right?
Everything seems to be firing. You have a good slot, and CBS is known for their
CBS. Yes.
CBS.
My last sitcom was on CW. Totally different world.
Different world.
CBS, man. I was thinking I'm looking forward to Super Bowl tickets. I'm like, I'm gonna be with the cast sitting there like, hey, we're on the big screen at the Super Bowl. I was looking forward to all of that. They pulled it.
That's
no Super Bowl for me.
I mean, but now you're used to obviously shows, that come and go. It's the nature of entertainment in the business.
Right, yeah.
But I would be, and I think you have every right to be pissed because I also think you give it a little bit more. You give it a little bit more breathing room. People forget, and you don't see it anymore these days. Seinfeld struggled for like a year and a half.
Seinfeld was like damn near canceled. And then they said, let's give it a few more weeks. And then for some reason it turned around.
It turned around.
I really think that show biblically would have been a super hit.
By the way, couldn't you port that over? Couldn't you give that a chance on perhaps, I don't know, on the Hallmark Channel or something where you maybe would find an audience.
Oh, after an all-new Touched by an Angel.
Touched by an Angel.
An all-new one. And fellas, she'll dig it too.
That should have been the same, right?
I brought Dave Chappelle on stage one night in L.A. I do a birthday show every year in L.A. at the Laugh Factory, and Dave Chappelle stopped by. Just came by.
Oh, wow.
You know, room's packed, and people are like, hey, the Laugh Factory has a great show going on. It's Tony's birthday, and Dave pops in. My idol, Dave
State
Chappelle.
of the art.
And I'm like, could you please go on stage? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do. And he goes on stage and goes, well, I first have to let you light his cigarette. And he takes his time. First, I have to let everybody know that I didn't even know Chris and Tony were brothers. I thought it was a horrible coincidence. And then I see you do stand-up, and I said, the kid's going to be okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Man,
That's
amazing. Yeah.
Pregnant Meghan Markle's sartorial choices.
Yes.
These are clothes?
Clothing, yes.
Okay, sartorial.
It's what she likes to eat at the food court.
Oh, okay. No. Frequently give fans a double take, generally for their stunning elegance. But some are wagging their fingers at the Duchess of Sussex for the skirt that she chose to wear on the final day of her royal tour of New Zealand, Fiji, and so on.
It was a full cooter shot.
Well,
it was up above her waist.
No, it wasn't. She paired a stunning royal blue Givenchy sweater with a sheer blue pleated skirt. So there was some see-through to it.
Well, you know what? She has.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. But she has had a higher than they usually like the skirts worn with members of the royal family, but nothing outlandish. Whenever she's out, but she still looks elegant,
You can see the shape of her panties.
Yes. I mean, that's a little
Does
sheer.
it matter that there are sexy photos of her on the internet to the royal family, do you think? Because, you know, when she did Suits and she did some modeling
There's a whole
stuff,
bunch of it.
Yeah.
And Nick, she had actually just done one prior to this whole...
To meeting Prince Harry.
Yes, and it's excellent.
And you know, the whole family received a portfolio of all of this stuff and said, here's what we're dealing with.
She's a beautiful woman.
If you need me, I'm going to be reviewing these photographs in my chamber.
How long is that going to take?
Wappa. Fwap.
That's it.
The fappening.
Wappa.
By the
That's the
way,
royal family version of fap.
why does this all have to rest on her shoulders? Like, why doesn't she have people looking at her going, yo, dude, I can see your panties?
But she makes the final choice.
Yo, dude, I can see your panties.
By the way, Shake Shack,
yep,
love their burgers, but I might as well eat them while I'm sitting on the toilet because that's how quickly they go through me.
Just for some particular reason?
Yeah.
Do you get the special sauce?
Dude, so...
He makes the special sauce.
I literally ate it one time, and I was driving home. I ate it by Helium. There's one right there.
Oh, no.
And I ate it.
Oh, no.
And I had to race. Oh, my God. I'm trying to get home. I was trying to get home.
Yeah.
And it was late. It was probably like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I
can make it.
And by the time I got to about Route 1 on 76, I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it. So let me get to the radio station. Quick.
Oh.
Stat, right?
Yeah.
Got to the radio station. Couldn't make it to the fourth floor. I had to dump by outside next to the...
Dude, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did you take a dump?
You crapped outside of the building?
I had to.
How long ago was this?
This morning.
God.
Kathy,
I
it was either that or in my pants. What do I do?
Sometimes I don't know.
Right? So I had to do it next to the...
Couldn't you at least pick a competing station?
Yeah. Well, no, because
I mean, and also, like, just so open to tell the story. It's amazing.
Oh, not right away. I had to wait a couple of years before the security footage was deleted, you know?
Hey,
Gav!
More FM's right over there.
Right.
Well,
Q102 is right down the street.
Q102 is down the street. He crapped there.
Oh, my God.
The story does get a little bit better.
Funny.
How?
How could it?
Ow. But could you have imagined had he been stopped at another radio station simply because it was an emergency?
Yes.
Right.
Local broadcaster in a clear attempt.
Like a superintendent of a school.
Right, exactly.
Right?
He would have been raised to heroic levels here.
Now, how does the story get better?
Oh, man. I think I'm just going to end it there.
Well, no. You started down the path.
Just say it quietly so we can't hear.
All right, I'll just whisper it.
They're not listening.
So,
Yeah.
So I had to
smeared it on someone's car.
I had to leave it there in the grass.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it with me.
Right.
Oh, you didn't want to take it with you?
No. I couldn't. So what
When you
ended
take
up?
your dog for a walk.
So,
I left it there.
all right. So a little bit did end up in my underpants. So I had.
That was just like a bingo.
So I had to put. Luckily I had. Nobody can hear this, right?
Right, no, we're good.
So luckily I had all these T-shirts in the back of my car.
Did you fashion a makeshift underwear?
I literally wore a pink T-shirt as underwear on the drive home. Oh no, it gets better. Okay, so then I'm on my way home and I'm thinking, dude, there is like T-shirts and poop and all this stuff next to the building. All right, so I can't. Like if security goes and they see that on Monday, they're gonna go, well, who pooped here
and look at security.
They're going to look at security and they're going to see me like all ashamed, crouching next to my car. So on Monday, I came back to work with a giant trash bag and I had to like collect it all.
Oh my God.
And then throw it in the dumpster.
So he cleaned his spot.
Yeah, I cleaned my spot.
hate you.
I hate me too, Kathy. When I got home.
And this was all because of what?
Kathy, our next guests are here to talk about Tommy and Me, which is showing at the Bucks County Playhouse now through June 17th. And we not only have, we have two people. We have the author, we have the writer, and the star of this show. So please welcome Ray Didinger and Gordon Clapp to our program this morning. Guys, happy to have you here this morning.
Pleasure to be here.
Nice to be here.
Absolutely. So listen, the story of Tommy and Me is about Tommy McDonald, Eagles legend. I did not grow up with the legend. Casey, Steve and I are not native. We've been here for, 25, 28 years, however long. But I've heard the name bandied about, and Casey here bleeds green his entire life. Certainly knows the full
As a matter
story.
of fact, he was before my era as far as Eagles fandom is concerned. But when you grow up in this area, in this town, and you grow up an Eagles fan, you learn who Tommy McDonald is pretty quickly.
And Ray, you were close friends with him, correct?
I was from the time I was a boy. He was my boyhood hero. We met up at Eagles training camp, which was then in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And I was a 10-year-old kid with an autograph book waiting outside the locker room for Tommy McDonald. Wow. And he came out and I got his autograph. He handed me his helmet and said, "Let's walk to the practice field."
Oh, that's awesome.
That was the beginning of a friendship that lasted for 40 years.
Wow. So your family would vacation out in Hershey? Was that your usual go-to?
Yeah.
And so obviously, and from what I understand, he had a lot of attitude, a fun attitude, right? That was his demeanor?
Yes. Well, he was the classic little guy overachiever. I mean, he was 5'9", 170 pounds, and yet was an All-American at University of Oklahoma, and then came to the NFL and became a great player. And did it. I mean, he had great physical gifts, but what really set him apart was his energy, his personality, and his incredible desire to win. And that's, for when you're a 10-year-old kid, those are all the qualities you identify with.
God, yeah.
So that's how he became my hero.
Sports does that. Gordon, you were a fan as well?
I was a fan. I lived up in New England. I grew up in New Hampshire.
Right.
I am older than the Patriots. My dad was a New York Giants fan.
Right.
And I, for some reason, picked the Bears as a team to follow. But because they had won more world championships than any other team at that point. But I didn't realize that all those championships were won before I was born.
Okay.
But Tommy McDonald was a great presence 2 Sundays a year on the television, on the broadcast of the Giants games. And I loved the guy because I was a little guy. And... I wanted to play like Tommy McDonald. So I used to pretend to be Tommy McDonald and then occasionally Mike Ditka, but that didn't work out.
No. Right. So, but this is a classic story, and all it's something that sports can do. As you were talking about this, Ray, is that the people you idolize as a kid. The truth of the matter is, the story goes on though. And it's more than that. There's this friendship, and it also focuses on your efforts to get Tommy into the NFL Hall of Fame, correct?
Correct, Steve. That was, Tommy had a great career. At the time that he retired in 1968, he was second all-time in NFL touchdown receptions. Only one player that had ever played in the NFL had more touchdown catches, and that was Don Hudson, who played for the Packers in the 30s. So when Tommy retired, I thought it was just going to be a layup for him to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it didn't happen. And he waited and waited and waited. And we talked enough over the years that I knew that that was the one thing that he felt was missing. I mean, he had played 12 years in the NFL. He had won a championship. He had won 2 national championships at Oklahoma. But the one thing that he felt would complete his career was to go in the Hall of Fame, which he clearly deserved.
It makes sense. Why was there the reticence, or was there politics involved, or just happenstance?
Well, there's always politics involved.
Yeah, true.
But I think more than anything else, it was the way Tommy's career ended. When he was traded from the Eagles, the last 6 years of his career, he played for 5 different teams. And when you kind of bounce around like that, and that's the way your career ends, you know, it's sort of, that's how people remember your career. And so he was one of those guys that fell through the cracks. And once I became a sports writer, and once I became a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame selection committee, I was in a position to try and mount the campaign to actually get him into the Hall of Fame.
That's pretty amazing.
So I was able to, sort of repay him at the end. And in 1998, when he finally was inducted, that was a celebration that we were both able to share.
Ray, let me jump in here real quick because, I mean, you've had a very storied career. You yourself are in the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, and your career, did your career trajectory start when he handed you that helmet and had you walk onto the practice field with him?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, he sort of opened the door to pro football to me, as much as you can for any 10-year-old kid who's just somebody who's just dreaming dreams. I mean, I always felt at that time, and I love pro football. And Tommy sent the message then that, yeah, you can be part of this. Even if it's just starting out with carrying my helmet, you're welcome in this world. And from that point on, I just got closer and closer to the game, and ultimately it became my life. So he always talked about the fact that about the profound effect that I had on his life in getting him into the Hall of Fame. But the reality is that the greater gift was what he gave me, which was an opportunity to have a career.
So, Gordon, you have obviously a big career as well in acting and stage and NYPD Blue and a number of other shows. But you were obviously an avid sports fan growing up. Was that ever on the table for you, pursuing a career in sports or attempting that?
No, I played 1 year of college hockey. I was a goalie.
Okay.
But I went out the second year. I was late going out because of a play. And that's when everything changed. I said to the coach, okay, I can come out now. And he said, well, we're pretty well fixed for goalies. He said, you got great instincts, but unfortunately, they're the ones associated with dodgeball. And so that was the end of my hockey career.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I've tried tennis and golf. I'm having a lover's quarrel with golf right now.
Uh-huh. Preston has had the same. It's funny, as someone who does not play, to watch people who profess complete love for the sport go through mental turmoil on a daily basis.
And the Saudis lowballed me on the off.
Oh, no. You didn't take it.
Damn it.
Sorry to hear that. Gordon, taking on the role of Tommy McDonald. This is a personality that you knew about, you followed. What's that like, taking on a role of a real-life person who not only you may know a thing or two about, but are a fan of?
The guy had slightly more energy than I have.
Yeah.
And that's been the challenge. And it's just been a great ride. We've had a wonderful time with it. And to play it in this venue with this audience, it's
that's got to be special.
There's a you know what you always say as an actor, the final character in a play is an audience, and this audience is a major character in the play.
Ray, I got to ask you a question. It's a real honor for me to have you in the studio here. I mean, you brought class to a profession that could be really difficult over the years, and sports writing in Philly is difficult and challenging, to put it mildly. But you've always been a class act and a personal hero to me. So it's really cool to have you in the same room. Matt Breen wrote this great article about you upon your retirement last year, and he relayed a story that I'd never heard before. And I would love if you could share it a little bit about what it was like being in the Flyers locker room the night they won their first Stanley Cup, and then what happened the next day with the Watson brothers and their father.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, the Flyers, when they won their first Stanley Cup, in '74. Yes, it was very unexpected. You know, the Flyers were big underdogs to the Boston Bruins, and they won it, and they won it on a Sunday at the Spectrum, and they had a parade, which was the first of its kind in Philadelphia. Now it's sort of almost a given. If you win a championship, you have a parade. But that was not the case back then. They decided to have one very spontaneously the next day to celebrate this Flyers thing. So the Philadelphia Police Department prepared for, they thought, 50 to 100,000 people for the parade. It turned out to be 2 million.
Oh, my God. Oops.
And so the parade just became, it started at the Spectrum and worked up into Center City, and the streets were just jammed. I mean, the players were each riding in an individual car, and they could barely get down the street because there were so many people. And I was riding in the middle of it in a press bus that was some press, but it was also families of the players. It was all these, and it was all these, that was a wonderful part of the story, because you had all the families of these guys, their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and Smithers, British Columbia, and all, now sort of dropped in the middle of Philadelphia and looking at up at 2 million people with confetti. And I was riding next to Joe Watson Sr., who was the father of Joe and Jimmy Watson. And he was a butcher from Smithers, British Columbia, population of 300. And he's looking out the window at this celebration, and he said, not to me necessarily, but just sort of to no one, saying, "My God, I didn't know there were this many people in the world." And that was kind of how it felt in Philadelphia that day.
Yeah, it was a different feeling in Boston that day. I watched that game in the old governor's mansion in Roxbury. A friend of mine was the caretaker there, and yeah, it was a pretty dismal afternoon. I was at Game 5 in Boston.
Wow.
Oh yeah. That was the game that lasted about 5 hours because there were so many fights. Yeah.
Wow.
That happened with the Flyers a lot back in those days.
Ray, I wanted to ask what it's like, obviously, you know, for writing all the years that you have, doing a stage play. Was that a whole different animal of taking pen to paper?
It was. I mean, I had written for newspapers, I had written magazines, I had written books. I had even written some film narrations when I worked at NFL Films, but I had never written a play before. I had never written dialogue. I had never attempted to do that. So yeah, that was a challenge. It was a challenge.
That it's a personal thing. You're able, when you can put yourself into it, it's got to help in the process of putting that story up on stage.
Yeah,
correct?
Exactly, Steve.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. One of the characters was me, so
Yes.
writing dialogue wasn't that hard if you're writing it for yourself.
Two of the characters are you.
You as a little boy and you as the adult.
Right, there are two characters. One is me as a 10-year-old, and then one is me as the adult. And the other part of it was a true story. I mean, and I was just recreating things that really happened. I don't think I could have ever sat down and written a play that I created or fiction. I just don't think I could have done that. But a true story, all I had to do was just dip into my own memory.
Well, what is this story? Where does this take us in his life, from beginning to end, or is it just a segment of it?
No, it's really kind of the whole thing. I mean,
Okay.
it really starts with me being the 10-year-old boy getting his autograph, him giving me the helmet and saying, "Let's walk to the practice field," and then us repeating that whole thing for the whole 7 years he was in Philadelphia, and developing a friendship to the point where he started calling me little brother, and it actually felt that way. And then later on, he retires, but I become a sports writer. And then I take up this cause of trying to give him the thing that he wanted most in life, which was a place in the Hall of Fame. And then in 1998, it finally happened, and he asked me to be his presenter. And so there we were, the little boy and his boyhood idol riding in the parade through the streets of Canton to the Hall of Fame. I mean, to me, you know, as far as I can tell, I think it's a one-of-a-kind story. I've never heard of another one quite like it.
Have you been approached
There's
for
an element. Oh, I'm sorry. There's an element to the story that Ray is not talking about.
Which is?
Which is the fact that Tommy did not identify you as the little boy for a very long time in your, let's say, adult relationship.
Yeah,
You didn't know?
No.
He didn't know you were that little boy.
No.
Wow.
Because I never told him. In the interview, after I grew up and became a sports writer, and then I would meet him at various events and so forth, and then I began mounting the campaign, I never told him that I was little brother.
Oh.
I tell everybody
No, you were writing this script all along.
Totally.
As you were living your life. Because that's as good a moment as you could possibly get.
It plays beautifully every night, I'll say that.
The Bucks County Playhouse.
That's a home run.
But he did
Tommy and me running now through June 17th.
he remembered all of it after you told him?
Yes. As soon as I started to say I was the little kid who stood outside the locker room, he said, oh my, you were the kid. You were that kid.
Yeah.
You were that kid.
And what year was that? The helmet year?
When I first gave...
when you first met.
When we first met, it was 1957.
1957. Okay, so years later, the famous Coca-Cola Mean Joe Green, Hey Kid commercial comes out. You probably are seeing that going, I kind of lived there.
People say that all the time.
Really?
They said, wow, this story reminds me of yeah, I know, the Joe Green commercial.
Totally.
Yeah, it's very much the same thing.
And a little gesture like that from someone of that stature to a child can go on and open up doors. It can mean so much. A little thing like that. I think that's so important.
Exactly. Have you been approached at any level for this to be turned into an actual theatrical film?
There's actually a documentary film underway as we speak.
Oh, nice.
Sam Katz, the Philadelphian who runs History Making Productions, is right now in the process of turning it into a documentary film.
Well, how's Brad Pitt going to play you in a documentary?
My wife is actually holding out for Bradley Cooper.
Who is it that plays you in the play?
Well, that's two. It's the adult me is Carl Kensler. And then we have two 10-year-old boys who share the other role, and they're all tremendous. And Gordon is great every single time out with us. Tommy McDonald. He is the embodiment of Tommy McDonald.
I love it.
And that's not easy to achieve.
Gordon, you won the Emmy for NYPD Blue, and you took on a number of what I would say difficult things as an actor. You were in Glengarry Glen Ross. Repeating David Mamet dialogue, which is some of the most difficult, and you're in Mayor of Easttown trying to do the Delco accent, which was more difficult.
How'd that go?
Yeah, I mean that's because
it wasn't bad, was it?
No, it was actually very good. Kate Winslet was pretty amazing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
well, Glengarry was Chicago.
Yeah,
Dave Moss was Chicago, but that's this dialogue with Tommy is as close to that as I think I've come in terms of just speed dialogue.
Really?
Yeah.
So we always talk about this. We talk extemporaneously for a long time every day. But the ability to retain even minimal copy and deliver it with any sort of accuracy eludes us. With your pace, when you are someone who's more known for, a more thoughtful approach, if you have to deliver kinetic dialogue, rapid fire, how do you do that? How do you get yourself up to that level where you're operating at that speed?
You do it over and over.
Simple repetition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you feed off the other actor. I have a one-man show about the poet Robert Frost.
Yeah,
and he was 88 at the time that I play the character. He was 88, so it's not quite as rapid fire, but it's an hour and a quarter of talking.
Yeah, a one-man show. Wow.
Ray, as a lifelong writer and observer of things happening in and around this city, including 1980, where all four teams went to the finals, what has the last 6 or 7 months meant to you? Because it's been a really interesting time as a Philly sports fan. Some good, some bad, some struggles when we made it to the finals or whatever. But it's also just been fascinating for me just to observe it and be a part of it as a fan.
Yeah, I think you describe it very well. I mean, it's been a very special time and very Philadelphia in a way because, I mean, it's exciting up to the point that you finally lose. I mean, it's felt very much like a Philadelphia experience. But I have been fortunate in the time that I was in sports media here that I actually got to cover all four teams winning championships. I got to cover the Flyers 2 Stanley Cups. I got to cover the Phillies 2 World Series, the Sixers with Moses and Doc. And the one missing piece, the one thing that I was always hoping that I would get to see, and a lot of us thought we never would, was the Eagles winning a Super Bowl. And so Super Bowl 52, and actually being out there in Minneapolis for that game, and then coming back here and then having that parade and then that wonderful celebration on the steps of the Art Museum, that was really the culmination. And that was really, I will always say this, and people will accuse me of being biased because I am a native and I've been here my whole life. This is, without question, the best sports city in America. I will say that forever, and I think it's true. And the fans here, and last year, that ride that we all called Red October.
Yes.
You know, when the Phillies got on that spurt and then went to the World Series. The night that Bryce Harper hit the home run to win that, that was a Roy Hobbs moment. It really was. And the people in Philadelphia, man, they'll talk about that for generations.
It was fun. You know, that's the key takeaway that I had from it. That last part of the season was just fun. You know what I mean? And it ended with a disappointment. But I still was able to look back and go, man, we had a lot of fun in those last couple of months.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I heard that so much. It's disappointing to get to the World Series and lose, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But what I heard on the streets of Philadelphia were people saying, God, what a great ride.
Yeah.
What a great ride those guys gave us. Because for most of the season, you never saw it coming.
And that's it. We got to enjoy that part of the season. Right. We were often, and a lot of people did refer to it as playing with the house money. That's okay.
Sure.
I wanted to ask you, how much did the vibe and zeal surrounding these great stories that are unfolding for the various teams, especially with the Eagles, how much did that figure into restaging Tommy and Me?
I think I was part of it.
Yeah.
I think that the people at Bucks County Playhouse, we did the show there last year,
right?
And it was very successful. And they said, we may want to bring this back sometime. I said, great, just let me know. And then after the Eagles had that amazing season last year, which statistically could go down as the greatest season in their history. Fell short in the Super Bowl, obviously, but there was just a tremendous energy and a feeling that this is a special team and this is a special time in this town right now. And so Bucks County Playhouse decided, what better time to bring Tommy and Me back than a time that everybody, as if we ever stopped thinking about football, but at a time when it's really, in terms of its popularity, maybe at its peak.
Yeah.
And so it's been great. We've had a wonderful run, and it's going to continue for a couple more weeks. I hope people can come out and see it.
And I think the thing that bummed me out most about the Super Bowl loss last year was just the fact that I know how hard it is just to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, the team stayed relatively healthy throughout the entire season, despite losing, Jalen for a couple of games and, and Lane Johnson for a couple of games. And but just, health is a major factor in, making a deep run into the playoffs.
Sure.
Obviously, like talent and the talents of the other teams. But, man, I was like, it's so hard to get here. And so that was the most, I think maybe
deflating.
Yeah. But, what are your thoughts about this season coming up here? If the team stays relatively healthy,
right,
we got another shot here.
I have to say that in the talkbacks, that question is asked more than, how do you learn all those lines? Which is the most commonly asked question. Here it's about the Eagles' chances.
Sure. Yeah. When we do the post-show Q&A, that's always comes up. So what are the Eagles going to do this year? They're going to go back to the Super Bowl, which is impossible to predict, obviously, but
it's reflexive at this point.
Of course, of course. And the fact of the matter is, and you just said it is hard. it is hard to get there. And if you get there and you lose, having to go back to the bottom and work your way back up again. It's, there have been 57, but in the previous 56 Super Bowls, the Super Bowl loser has only made it back to the Super Bowl the next year 8 times.
I know.
8 out of 56.
The Patriots did it after they lost to the Eagles.
That's the last time it happened, but that just speaks to how hard it is.
Yeah.
But this is a very good team.
Well, if you could manage the inflation and deflation of the balls, that does help, correct?
Yeah, no doubt that helps. But this is a very good team. They have a tough schedule, obviously, but I would be shocked if they didn't repeat in the NFC East, and that'll put them back in the playoffs.
Ray, I know this is a story that's been shared a million times, but I don't know if Preston and Steve have ever heard it, and it certainly has never been told on WMMR. Can you talk a little bit about what happened with you and Christy Brinkley?
What?
This is new to me.
Well, we'll get to your Christy Brinkley story as well, Gordon.
This goes back to 1980, 81. It was the second Duran-Leonard fight, the rematch Duran-Leonard. I was down in New Orleans to cover that fight, and at the first day of workouts, I'm at the Roberto Duran workout, and with about a dozen other press members, and we're watching Duran hit the bags and skip rope and all that kind of stuff. And walking around just happens to be none other than Christy Brinkley. And she had been brought in by Don King to be a sort of celebrity photographer at the event. Add a little glamour to the surroundings, which she certainly did.
Oh, she was in her prime in an 81.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding?
Goodness,
I mean,
yes.
she had just made her first Sports Illustrated cover, so she was really at the peak of her modeling career. And so she's walking around taking pictures, and as the thing's winding down, she comes over to the group of reporters and begins striking up a conversation with me, of all people, and starts telling me, I don't really know the first thing about this sport. I'm just down here taking some pictures, but, what could you tell me about Roberto Duran? So, I kind of give her the Cliff's Notes versions, poor kid, streets of Panama, grew up, went to the gym, blah, 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 now welterweight champion of the world. And so she's sort of nodding. So, well, that's really interesting. That's really, I like learning. I'd like to learn more. And then she says, here comes the money line. She says, why don't you and I go to lunch, and we can continue our conversation. and I had to say,
oh no,
I had to say, I'm sorry, I'm on deadline. I only had an hour and a half to write my story and get it back to Philadelphia. And so I had to blow off Christy Brinkley.
Ray, you could have been in the Uptown Girl video.
Yeah.
I know. And the thing is, you talk about the definition of taking one for the team. I mean, has ever been a better example of taking one for the team than I did? I went back to my room, I wrote my story, I filed it. Never told anybody. I got back to Philadelphia, and I walked in, and I told the sports editor what had happened. And I said, well, she asked me to go to lunch with her, but I had to write the story. I told her I was on deadline. Here's my editor. He said, are you crazy? Liar. Here, I thought I was doing him a favor by filing the story, and what he basically said was, you should go to lunch, and we would have all understood.
Gordon, what supermodel did you turn down?
Well, my most fun day on the set was to have Gail O'Grady and Deborah Messing fighting over me.
Oh.
Yeah, the Abundando sisters.
Right. NYPD Blue. So how was that? That was that show was just at the top of its game, and obviously you did a lot of work on that. And was it Stephen Bochco? Was he?
Stephen Bochco was the executive producer. It was a Stephen Bochco show. David Milch was the showrunner.
Right.
And he wrote most of the episodes. He had a team of writers who would write an episode, and then he would come in and completely change everything and hand us the script as we were in makeup sometimes.
It's got to make you jaded.
It was crazy. It was a crazy time.
Yeah, to have dialogue that good and to have that kind of, Has it made you picky in your, because you're also on Deadwood, another great series. To be a working actor, a consistent working actor is, you have to.
Well, I usually take a job when somebody offers me a job. That's my policy.
I'm overthinking this.
This came out of nowhere. But, Philly was NYPD Blue's biggest market.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And you did over 250 episodes. I mean, you were with that for the long haul. That's, as an actor, landing that long-running gig has got to be one of the ones you want to strive for. I mean, although, as an artist, you want to branch out and you want to do these other things, but when you've got that kind of almost 9-to-5 thing happening, it's got to be pretty awesome.
Yeah. It was, to be able to count on it.
Yeah.
Although it seemed that the survival of the show was in peril every year for one reason or another.
Yeah.
David Caruso leaving, and then all the stations in the South not carrying it.
Thought it was too provocative.
And then Jimmy Smith's leaving, and so we never knew what, how long it was going to survive, and it made it through 12 seasons.
Wow, that's a great. That is an amazing run for television. Well, listen, the Tommy and Me show is going to be running. It's now through June 17th. You'll find it at the Bucks County Playhouse. Tickets available at BCP theater.org, and you should get out and see this show. And it sounds like, especially if you're an Eagles fan, it's pretty much you got to go see this.
Review calls it a love letter to the Eagles.
I love it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for stopping by this morning, and we wish you tremendous success and moving forward. Absolutely. Gordon, nice to meet you. Ray, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. Thank
Ray
you, guys.
Didinger and Gordon Clapp on the Preston and Steve Show. We will take a quick break and come back in just a moment to B-File Stories when we return.
Well, you unloaded.
Yeah,
Wait,
I had to go. What's that?
Why didn't you come inside?
He couldn't get in.
I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it. I do. Believe me. I'm not. This is not a proud moment here, Kathy.
Yeah. Though you would assume it could have been a proud moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you came back, and that's noble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily noble. It was self-preservation.
The last thing you wanted is that footage to end up. But what's worse, the footage of you doing it or the footage of you collecting it back up in the back?
They watched both, and they were like, okay, well, he came back and cleaned it.
We'll erase this.
All right, so you should eat your hamburger upside down.
On the toilet.
That's what we got.
That's all I noticed. I didn't. There's
That's
it. I can't top that.
No, it ends there.
I will not be able
like
to.
a derailing train.
Right.
So nobody heard that, right?
Nobody heard that. People magazine is named its 2018 sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
And it is Idris Elba.
Oh, Kathy?
The British actor says the honor has given him a boost of self-confidence.
What do you think? Are you an Idris Elba fan?
Pull up a picture.
Okay. You don't remember?
You don't know what he looks like?
No, I do, but like, let me just look at.
Let her drink him in.
I don't like. Is that the picture they use?
Let her take a sip of that chocolate.
Yeah,
milk.
that's from people.com.
I don't love the picture that they use. I wish they used a different picture, but yeah, no, he's good looking for sure.
He was surprised after being crowned this year's winner. I was like, come on, no way, really? He told the magazine.
You guys.
He said, look. Here, there's the cover picture.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's like Lovey.
Well, like Lovey from Gilligan's Island?
No, like not where you would look at some of them and be like, oh my God, he's so hot. Like this guy's like, he probably would give you a good hug.
Part of it is his voice and his demeanor. He is planning a wedding with his fiancée Sabrina Dahor. No.
Yeah, well, I don't
Sabrina
know.
Dahor?
Dower.
Dahore?
Dahore.
Dahor. Oh, you mean Dahor?
Dahor. It's all the same letters.
Who are you marrying? Sabrina. Oh, Dahor?
Dhowre.
No, not Dahor.
If you move the W to the beginning or in between the D and H, it looks like Dahor.
No, it's Dahor.
Dahor? Dahore.
No.
Anyhow, the actor has
I'm not marrying a whore.
16-year-old daughter named Isan and a 4-year-old son named Winston. What a great name.
Yeah, I almost
like
named
that.
my dog Winston.
From previous
Let him know.
relationships. Elba told people about his upbringing.
Yes, Idris. My name is Casey. I produce a show in the States. I almost named my dog Winston.
When you said let him know, I thought you were talking about let my dog know.
I did too. Come here, buddy.
Come here.
You were almost Winston.
Reggie, I almost named
Dog, I don't understand what you're saying.
We began Wigapalooza.
I'm very excited.
If you just tuned in, we talked about this a while back. What would Steve look like with a head of realistic human hair and not goofy looking wigs? Actual hair. We want to see what Steve would look like with a realistic looking hairstyle.
These wigs are usually fitted to people's heads, so Steve's got a bigger head. I actually thought his head was a little bit smaller than that.
Should we bring him in?
Yes.
All right, let's have Steve come in and see what the actual. Wow! Dude, oh my God!
You haven't seen it?
You haven't? Kathy's got to have a mirror.
Get the big mirror from the office.
Steve, you look better bald, man.
Casey, that does look good. You fixed the sides.
Yeah.
Do you know whose hair I immediately think of for some reason? Because
Oh, Jesus Christ.
he looks like Danny Briere's hair for some reason.
Wow,
am I not wrong about that?
That's
Danny
absolutely
Briere,
right.
formerly of the Flyers.
No,
What? Who are you thinking of? Here, move your microphone over, Steve. So I can.
From bachelor party and
Adrian
Zmed.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey,
It's
come
the
no
profile
sideburn?
that I love.
I guess you have to. Well, I look like a 60s pop star. Hey, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow.
This is one that's for the ladies.
Yeah.
It's what you call a panty dropper in the biz.
Yeah, Steve, we need a voice with that
That's right,
wig.
yeah.
What is that the voice?
I need
you think,
yeah,
or-
I think that's kind of the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or kind of the voice.
The back looks good too, like
Does
the
the back look
neckline.
good?
Yeah, the neckline.
Yeah, the back looks real.
Am I making you wet, baby?
Looks totally real. Somebody says you look like Paul McCartney. Yeah.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Somebody says Phil
I know.
Mickelson or Ralph Macchio.
Well, a little Ralph Macchio.
A little bit.
The Karate Kid on Hard Times.
And by the way, you'll need.
Hey, Mr. Miyagi, how are you?
You'll need.
What the hell happened?
There you go. Yes, Steve's doing the dance moves. And we'll put.
I could walk you home. Makes me feel fine.
Oh, Steve. The hair. Oh my God.
Summer breeze.
Nice.
Makes me feel fine.
Oh, you've got to watch the webcam. Steve is singing directly to you.
I thought that was beautiful, actually. I have to go pleasure myself.
Hi,
I'm
Bria.
so turned on.
All right, well, let's bring him in and see what we have next. Let's have Steve. He's been out of the studio when he gets. Okay. The color is better on this.
Yes.
I think you like.
I like the dark.
Hey, I'll help.
You look like a stock boy a little
Right,
bit.
yeah. I'll get that for you, Mr. Jones. What do you want me to do with the canoe?
Just put it in the back. Put it in the back.
I'll move that around for you, Mr. Jones. Hey, can I take lunch now?
Every wig has to have a voice.
Right, yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Wow.
My name's Toby. This is a Toby, right?
Yeah, that's a Toby.
Yeah.
Toby.
Is that
Hi,
what
my
it's
name's
called?
Toby.
Is that what it's called? Seriously?
No. It's the Toby.
Oh, no?
Yeah. It intermatches with the Kunta Kinte.
Well, what was the last one? What should that have been? That was the Danny?
The Danny or the Ricky.
Ricky.
I like the Ricky.
That was Ricky. With a song for you.
No, it's
Toby.
Toby. Hey,
Yeah.
Toby.
Hey, you need any yard work? You need to have it done? I'll do it. I'm 17.
Should we do a new wig next?
Yes, dude.
Yeah,
It's
we
the
only have
doctor
an-
wig.
We only have two more left. Let's bring him in. Let's see Steve's third wig of the morning. Wow, man.
It is the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, and that's
little bit
real
of gray.
hair. What's that?
A little bit of gray.
Just a little salt and pepper in there.
Yeah.
That looks good.
I think he looks like
I
either
think I'm ready for the boardroom and the bedroom.
I think Richard Gere, maybe.
She said she gave me three options: Richard Gere, Regis Philbin, and Eddie Munster.
What?
With the three hair.
Well, the one style we had going at first, he looked a little like Eddie Munster.
It's all sewn
Do I look
in.
like in the Cialis commercial? I say the man with the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do look like the man with the plan.
Yeah, putting some more wind in my sails with Cialis.
Oh, is this the voice?
Yeah.
What-
Hey,
what's-
kids, we're gonna go mountain climbing and rappelling.
What's a
and
good-
I can get aroused too.
What's a good name for this hair?
gotta be- it's
first
gotta
thing
be a
that comes to your
doctor.
mind. Chet.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Chet Wainwright.
All right.
Dr. Chet Wainwright?
Yeah, Dr. Chet Wainwright.
PhD.
Yeah.
What are you a doctor?
Not DDS?
Gynecologist.
Of course.
Of course.
It
The
would be
ladies
anything
are
else.
stacked too deep
All
out
right,
there.
now put the headphones on, and
Yeah.
we'll see if this because
Radio chat.
Steve doesn't have sideburns.
I have
and
no
so that's the
sideburns,
one thing
no
that looks a little
eyebrows.
odd.
What happened was that they extracted me from the pod in the Matrix too quickly,
Yeah.
and I hadn't fully formed.
I like this the
Put your
best.
headphones on.
All right.
Let's see how this looks.
I have hair over my ears, which is weird.
That looks real,
Let me see.
Steve.
Look at me. Can you look at me?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Wow.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. Wait,
Doctor?
call.
Yeah.
Say hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry, you got to do it. Dr. Chet Wainwright.
Hey, Chet. Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, do it again.
One more time, ready?
Hey, Dr. Wainwright.
Can I help you, ladies?
Oh my God.
I think we got a yeast situation.
Casey wanted me to play this music. All right, so
It's an African American wig.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. It's real hair.
Yeah.
It's real hair. I mean, it's just like a $1,500 wig, and this particular wig is going to a politician.
All right, somebody who's running for office.
So it's a short crop.
Okay.
You know, it's a short crop.
All right.
Yeah, just take a look-see.
All right, Superfly, come on in. Let's take a look and see. Yeah. Yes. Oh, dude, Steve. Man. Oh,
Out of sight.
Yeah. That looks real.
It looks pretty real. I think this looks the realest. Apparently, I would be a really good black dude.
It's a tight curl.
You know what this reminds me of, though? And see if this frames you a little bit. Like Mr. Brady.
A little bit.
A little Mr. Brady in the latter part of the series.
Okay.
Sort of what they would call an Isro.
Yeah. No, you know what it looks like? It looks like my friend Nolan, who's Jewish.
Now, Peter, Bobby, someone broke that vase.
All right. So, other than the Brady affectation, what kind of can you need to look at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look and see what name, what voice, what your style is going to be.
Wesley Python. You like that?
Yes.
I love the name, Wesley Python.
My name's Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley Python.
So are you kind of? Oh, then you're kind of like a Billy D.
I'm like a Billy D.
Okay.
I'm like a malt liquor drinking.
All right.
Wannabe.
Yeah. Smooth.
Wesley Python. Smooth.
Yeah.
I go down like my ladies.
Hang on, I want to try something else. Yo, Wesley.
Is that good?
No, he's Isaac from the Love Boat.
I'll do it again.
Yeah. Yo, Wesley.
Fell over.
With the headphones on.
Yeah, there we go.
I love
even
it.
better.
Oh, that looks good.
Hey, yo, you boppers out there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right.
Wigapalooza on the Preston Steve Show.
From Funkadelic. Wesley Python with you. Let's get the funk on.
Hey, Wesley, do you have a
Hey,
favorite?
if you want to hear the song, send me a fax.
Do you have a favorite
That'd
so
be
far?
a self-addressed stamped envelope,
Yeah.
probably.
Send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll try to get it on for you in 3 weeks when it arrives.
Do you have a favorite so far?
Was that, little man?
Do you have a favorite wig so far?
Let me see. I'm kind of like, for the one that looks the most real, this one.
Yeah, right.
And the last one. They're both the ones made with human hair. The synthetics, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it.
I'm thinking the Chet was my favorite.
Chet,
The Chet was good.
I'm the man with the plan.
The last birthday I saw is an actor named Adam Devine. And
Yes.
he was in Pitch Perfect. So,
Yeah.
Casey, I'm sure you got something queued up. Is him singing?
No, this is actually Ben Platt singing. He took over for Adam Devine because Adam left the band to go be a backup singer for John Mayer, if you recall, in that particular movie.
Okay, so this is the end of the movie, and they do that song Magic.
Yep.
You love this version of it.
Oh my
so
God,
that's
dude!
why
I
we're
get
playing
so
it.
welled up.
Do it. Play it. I want to see you cry. He went on. He also had a role on Modern Family for a while.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like him. He's good.
He's very funny.
Good, cool, comedic actor. He was also in a movie that I like a lot, The Intern.
Yep.
And he was in Why Him. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. So here we go.
All of it, man. Like, it just builds to a crescendo, and these guys, and then the Barton Bellas, and I just get so happy.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
There's also a scene in Madagascar 3
Oh my God.
where I think it's the hippo.
That's when the series hits its stride.
Oh my God! When the hippo comes out and like, because they're working towards this big show, this big circus, and
Yeah.
then the hippo comes out and Firework is playing from Katy Perry,
Right.
and I got so happy that I started crying.
Listen, it's very impactful. I think even Gene Simmons got a little teary-eyed when
That
that
hippo
right?
makes the appearance in Madagascar 3. You need to understand it's the culmination of everything. This very large creature you would not think would be so adroit on the stage wows everyone, including a group of meerkats.
even kind of, stone-hearted Gene Simmons crumbled to that.
Melted this icy heart. My face, I was smiling so hard, my surgically reattached face slid off my skull.
Oh my
There's another crescendo.
There's an incredible scene where a platypus sings, "I was made for loving you."
What were you going to say?
I can't well, I just know it's at the end of the new Muppets movie that has Jason Segel in it.
Right.
Because they're doing this like telethon to save this theater. Something is it the chickens? I don't
What's
know.
happening?
Of course, the famous chicken scene.
I get so happy. Yes, they're doing the normal part of the song.
93 WMMR.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Yes, Case.
No, I'm just. I love you.
He loves you. I love you too.
Yeah.
Let's do the bizarre file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you by Horizon Services. Made over 20,000 air conditioner repairs last year that could have been avoided with a Horizon tune-up. And you can avoid repairs and lower cooling bills with Horizon's no breakdowns guarantee. So book online at horizoneasybook.com. I'm going to start with woodland creatures running around in our areas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, two of them, two stories of, well, they're just animals on the prowl. So in media, a skulk of thieving bandits is hitting Delaware County's neighborhood once again, though this time, and I got this from 6ABC, by the way.
A skulk.
Neighbors have a cunning plan of their own. Once shoes, sports equipment, and newspapers started disappearing from porches and yards around media late last month, some neighbors knew immediately what was going on.
Raccoon field hockey team.
No, the Foxes are back.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Acarola, who lives in the area, said they're back again. And his yard is, for the second year in a row, is where the Foxes come and leave everything.
Is that right?
So he's not having stuff stolen. They drop all the stuff off at his house.
That's pretty cool.
He said a few pairs reunited with their owners, talking about shoes. He said of
these jeans are just my size.
Personal items that are scattered around his yard each morning.
I didn't realize they were that, like, bandits that way.
Rather than be an accomplice to the crime, he and his wife posted in a Facebook group to help reunite the stolen goods. Diane Layden, who lives about 5 blocks away, said, I immediately started scanning, and yep, I see two familiar shoes there. She says that her family always leaves their shoes on the front porch. Between 8 and 10, she said, not pairs of shoes, but individual shoes were being taken. But we did get a full set back, so that was a huge win. Wildlife experts say that to the cub, this is just a clever game. They said they're choosing to play with your toys instead of their own. And the experts said this was, who is this? Leah Stallings, who's the director of a wildlife organization. She said that late spring and summer is baby season. And while mom and dad are out hunting, the cubs are having fun.
They say they can be controlled with landmines.
The best source of action is to leave the foxes alone. They are scared of people and won't pose any threats.
They are kind of cute.
All right. And I think foxes are cool. Yeah. Police in South Jersey in a community warned residents to steer clear Tuesday of a bull that went loose for a period of time before being corralled. And what's interesting is, since we had our conversation about cows the other day, I now know the difference between a steer and a bull.
We didn't know this before.
No, the steer is the one that's been castrated and a bull has not. So in a late morning...
Sometimes you feel like nuts, sometimes you don't.
This is true. In the world of bulls and steers, that's the way it goes. So in a late morning Facebook post, Galloway Township Police said officers had responded to the area of Durer Street and Vienna Avenue attempting to corral a loose bull. And he does not look happy.
He
We're
does
looking at
not.
a picture of him.
No.
Some roads may be temporarily shut down, they said, and we asked that the public stay clear of the area until the situation is resolved and the bull is safely secured. However, around 12:30 p.m., police updated the original Facebook post to say that the bull was captured and they reunited it with its owners.
And it feels so good.
Yeah. A New York podiatrist who was...
Another wild animal.
But no, not a wild... Actually, I took my dad to his first podiatrist appointment yesterday.
Really?
I have to thank Dr. Rice in Phoenixville for taking care of my dad because no human being should touch my father's feet. It's just...
That bad, huh?
Oh, no.
Isn't that ironic? You a foot model.
I know.
And he's got claws.
I'll show you pictures, Kathy. I don't think I'll show you. I don't think I'll show you because I don't want you to puke on me. So anyway, a New York podiatrist who was released from prison over the summer of 2021 after serving time for a murder-for-hire plot targeting his estranged wife with help from his then-lover, now faces an indictment alongside his sister, a lawyer, in connection with yet another alleged attempt at having his wife killed, followed by an apparent cover-up. This is a crazy story.
It's so difficult.
1 year after Ira Bernstein exited prison, the 49-year-old allegedly tried to arrange the murder of his wife, Susan Bernstein, for a second time. He did his time. He came out and wanted to do it again.
May I say, I don't think he learned his lesson.
The difference is this time his sister, Jacqueline Goldberg, a 40-year-old employment attorney, is accused of playing a role in covering up the alleged conspiracy.
So the sister of the intended victim?
No, the sister of him.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
That would have been extra creepy.
I believe so, yeah, his sister. So the initial 2016 conspiracy case against Ira Bernstein and Kelly Gribeluk ended with the pair's imprisonment in New
That's
York.
where the Gribeloks live.
2017, that same year, Bernstein and Gribeluk, a former mortician turned orthotics saleswoman, spoke out about how she and her father of three fell for one another. It's this long, convoluted story that I'm really not going to go through all the details in.
Right, but the fact that he gets right out of prison and does it all over again.
Yeah, and as a result, he's charged with second-degree criminal solicitation, fourth-degree criminal solicitation, fifth-degree conspiracy, and the woman, Jacqueline, was indicted for tampering with physical evidence and a few other conspiracy charges as well. But the guy did his time, got out, and went back and tried to do the same thing again.
He seems to be upset.
What an idiot. All right. A customer, speaking of an idiot, at a Nashville McDonald's ordered a chicken sandwich before trying to rob the restaurant Wednesday afternoon. Jamonte Calvin Smith is charged with attempted robbery and aggravated burglary. Police said they responded to the McDonald's to investigate the attempted robbery. The restaurant's manager said Smith ordered a chicken sandwich, tried to pay with cash. And when the cash register drawer opened, police said Smith lunged over the counter and tried to steal the money. There was a struggle between the manager and Smith over the cash drawer.
Hit him with a fry!
Smith later ran away from the restaurant after removing his shirt.
Of course.
And it is unclear if he got away with any cash.
Were you
not.
by any chance wearing a shirt earlier? No. No.
All right, and then finally, let's end with this one. So a German tattoo artist has been criticized for charging a client hundreds of dollars for a back tattoo that many have compared to a childish doodle. You'll have to see this. It makes no sense at all. Connor, see if you can find that photo for me.
It looks really bad.
Michaelo, a 21-year-old tattoo artist from Berlin, recently posted a TikTok video of one of his latest projects, an abstract scribble-like design that his client allegedly paid $960 for. The clip went viral with nearly 2 million views at the time of the writing and hundreds of comments about the quality of the artwork. The tattoo consists of two shapes resembling hurriedly doodled flowers stemming out of a scribbled section surrounded by dozens of seemingly disconnected lines. It's this guy's entire back. Look at this.
It looks like you put a marker in a dog's mouth.
Yeah.
And it had to shake its head.
There's nothing artistic to this at all. And while some people describe the tattoo as a piece of art, others said that they wouldn't have inked it on their bodies even if someone paid them $10,000. The young tattoo artist admitted to bumping up the price of the tattoo to make it even more controversial and increase the chances of the video going viral.
There we go.
And speaking about the abstract design, he said that it was inspired by concepts like freedom and beauty. And
neither of those.
And was settled upon after consultations with the client. So this guy okayed it. And he admitted that he knew the design would spark controversy and actually counted on it to get some free publicity, which he is.
It
definitely.
Worked. Money well spent.
But it looks horrible. It's ridiculous.
Kind of like a monkey between the nipples.
No, that's art.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, Kathy, get us a number caller for the secret text word, please.
15.
All right, you heard her. 15.
WMMR. See what you
That's all we read.
The most popular horror movie the year you were born.
Ooh, okay.
And this was kind of a bitch slap to you emotionally, wasn't it, Preston?
It starts 2 years after I was born.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a fire drill.
We have a flashing strobe in the studio, that's why. 1991 was Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
I don't consider it a horror movie, but many do. So it was more suspense and...
Thriller.
And thriller, yeah, exactly.
Thriller. Scary. Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Lecter. I'll be working closely with you.
Oh, no. He's
Oh, my God. Let me out. Let me out. What's the problem? Let me out of here.
They finally found the thing that broke Lecter.
Just found your great cellmate.
Yeah.
Dr. Lecter. Holy Jesus.
Ricky, we're going to become best friends.
Oh, my God. What are you?
He's pounding on the glass.
Let me out! He's trying to get to that opening where they put the food.
Why? What's wrong? I'm going to let my gloves dry out here on the end of the bed.
You didn't want to play quid pro quo with him?
Nothing. Nah.
Yeah.
I got a better game, Twister.
Oh, my God. Well, 1991, it was the #1 horror film.
Let's play Pictionary.
1993. All right, here you go again. 1993. But I guess it would all depend on what was out that year. Go ahead. You want to guess?
You're not going to say Jurassic Park, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. But it was Fire in the Sky.
Wait, what was 92?
Did I skip 92?
I think so.
Turner and Hooch.
It's not on here. The Mystery Year, 1992.
What? They just skipped it?
Yeah, that's interesting.
It was a movie called Hannibal and Michael.
Oh,
let me out! What is that music? Oh no! Oh, you lead a deranged life.
Well, Candyman.
I once ate a census taker's liver with some fava beans and Chianti. I once had a Boy Scout Jamboree party at my house the entire weekend. Holy Christ. And they tasted good.
Oh, my God.
I sauteed them with Jesus juice. I change diapers on my monkey every day.
Oh,
Holy Christ. And I piss in bottles and leave them around the house. And my nose comes off. Get me out of here! I'm 40 years old and I have parties for 9-year-old boys. Holy Jesus!
Why? Let me out!
Oh, my God.
You have such fun.
Can you do that list again? Because seriously, when you list it like that, oh my God.
Hey, Blamas, I change the diaper on my monkey every day. I piss in bottles. I have an entire staircase as a tribute to Home Alone. I bounce Emmanuel Lewis up and down on my lap all throughout every award show.
Oh.
I drink Jesus juice.
Oh.
My nose comes off. I used to be black. And I made my kids wear Mardi Gras masks. And have a train, but a real one.
Lecter admits everything. He just
I will tell you right now how you can get in touch with Buffalo Bill. I have a dress.
I have his whole address.
Longitude and latitude.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
Get me out.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Lecter. Oh, my God.
We're going to be good friends.
Corn has launched its new coffee brand called Corn Coffee.
Corn Coffee.
Yes.
It's a great name.
Corn Coffee.
If you like the driven rock of corn, you'll love their coffee.
Corn personally curated the creation of Corn Coffee.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's see how many K sounds I can put in there. Corn personally curated the creation of Corn Coffee, a process that saw the band members tasting multiple variations for ultimately selecting the perfect roast and blend.
Yeah, that one.
Each bag of Corn Coffee will feature a special message from the band, which reads, after almost 25 years of touring, making records, and playing in front of all of our amazing fans,
we still drink coffee.
One thing has remained a constant in our daily routine.
Lattes!
I was not expecting that.
I know.
Lattes! No, it says coffee. The ritual, the brew, the aroma. And most importantly, that very first cup every morning that sets the tone is something that we look forward to every day.
Well, this is interesting. We're actually watching footage of them sampling the various brews.
Yeah. It says, because of our passion, we've gotten together with a roaster and handcrafted our very own blend, coffee. It's called Corn Coffee.
Next up, corn licorice.
Korn recently began recording its new album in Nashville, Tennessee, by the way, but now they have corn coffee.
That's part of waking up is corn coffee in your cup.
That's right. Yeah, cup. This is...
cup.
This,
always at the ready.
Yeah, a couple.
We need to have Nick coffee or something like that.
Yeah.
Have a cup. Have a couple.
This is our new
Yeah, a
blend.
cup.
It's called Nanapuya.
From the hills of Nanapia.
Yeah. Brought down by mules every day at 2 o'clock after the afternoon rain. The beans are enriched with monkey urine.
If only we had a coffee sponsor to do this for us.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Nanapuya.
That's good.
Have a cup.
Yeah, a cup.
God. Or no, the question would be, would you like some?
Yeah, a cup.
No, not Nanapuya. Yeah, cup.
Come on. Yeah, a cup.
That'd be ridiculous. Do you want a thermos or a cup?
Yeah, a cup.
Okay.
Oh, one Nanapuya for table 7.
Okay.
What is that one?
That's you. That's Mini Wookie. That's Nick. So you ask, have you decided what you like, sir?
Nanapuya.
Nanapuya.
Nanapuya. I don't remember Mini Wookie.
All right. Anyhow, Korn has coffee.
Corn coffee.
It's almost an embarrassment that we live in this city and that we don't. I think you're right though, Preston. Stop and check it out at least to some degree.
Why groups of people decided that it would be a good idea to memorialize this person in that form.
Also, don't hesitate now and then to throw a rope around on it and attach to your boat hitch.
That why is intriguing to me as well. What the hell is the point of
Fighters Under You, latest on 93.3 WMMR. And guess what? This weekend on MMR, it's Foo season.
Ooh.
That's what it says. Foo season. MMR is going to be rocking blocks of Foo Fighters, along with free copies of their new CD, But Here We Are. And if you're a VIP member at WMMR.com, it's super duper easy. You can also enter online to win the complete RCA Foo Fighters vinyl collection. And that includes both black and white editions of the new album. And in fact, if you want the contest details and weekend details and all that stuff, text FIGHTERS to 39333. I want to fight you. Text FIGHTERS to 39333. We'll send you.
I want to fight you.
To that. And the new album is out now on Roswell Records, by the way. Steve, you got the mutiny on the Mashulu tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening.
My goodness.
Weather's going to be damn good. Thank you, Preston. It is tomorrow night from 6 to 9 p.m. It benefits Max Fund. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on. Your ticket price gets you parking for free right there at the Mashulu. Plus, great tastings from Algorithm Restaurant, Zaz Ice Cream, Tuckins, Nothing Bundt Cakes, Rosie's Kettle Corn, Insomnia Cookies, Philly Pretzel Factory is what I'm attempting to say. Finger food, all that stuff. The booze from Yards Brewery, Boardroom, Chadsford, Clear Rum, Stateside Vodka, and more. Performers like Ridiculous Nicholas and Mike Paldino, a magician and a strongman and a tarot card readers, and a contortionist, all that stuff going on. But get this as well. I said it yesterday. Arm & Hammer, our friends are coming down. They're going to give 50 boxes of their new hardball clumping litter to the first 50 people to the Arm & Hammer table. And you can enter to win. 3 people can enter to win a year's supply of hardball clumping litter, which is a super light, super efficient litter that they just debuted. A full year of that. So that alone is worth taking a shot at coming down. We'd love to see you.
I'd go solely for the litter and the Nothing Bundt Cake.
I mean, that's... and
maybe they'll sprinkle a little litter on you. Nothing.
Sure.
Why are you here, man?
And kids to cuddle, too. Tons of kittens as well. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, details, WMMR.com. We were looking for caller number 15, and that's Debbie. Hi there, Debbie.
Hi, how are you?
Awesome. Debbie, do you know the secret text word?
I do.
What is it?
It is pineapple.
Pineapple. That is absolutely correct, Debbie. Hang on the line. We're going to get your information, and we are going to give you tickets to see Tracy Morgan Friday, October 13th at the Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. You can visit theoceanac.com for tickets, and info must be 21 or older.
Fine bowl of pineapple juice.
That's actually Tracy Morgan saying a fine bowl of pineapple juice. I'll play that one more time.
Fine bowl of pineapple juice.
He was talking to Lauren.
Lauren Harris.
At that time, or she was interviewing him. We have a random texter, and that is Rob
Spanagle or Spanagle. I'm not really sure. It was from Gibbsboro, New Jersey. So congratulations, Rob. We're going to give you those tickets to see Tracy Morgan Friday.
What's the dealio?
October 13th, Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. And the tickets go on sale Friday at theoceanac.com. All right, how's about we do a lesson question? And for that, we are going to give away $50 Rita's Italian Ice gift card. I'm going to go back super early this morning.
Okay.
Normally I don't do one this early, but this is great. What is my new cute nickname for Dr. Mike? 215-263-WMMR. I thought it was my wife on the phone. It was Dr. Mike.
That was in news.
What did I call him? Yeah, so it was at 6:40 this morning. So if you've been with us for the long haul this morning and you know what my cute nickname for Dr. Mike is, call now 215-263-WMMR.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Circa Flags and Jersey Shore residents. Check out circaflags.com for personalized beach gear. Customize your very own family logo in seconds to display on beach flags and apparel all summer long. That's CIRCA flags.com. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, the mother of former Bachelor star Matt James is reportedly in talks to join the new senior series, The Golden Bachelor. Producers believe that if mom Patty James has half the personality her son has, then she will have minus one half of a personality.
Oh, my God.
Kanye West says he has made peace with Ice Cube 7 months after claiming Cube had turned him on to anti-Semitism. West says it was a tremendous misunderstanding and says Cube actually turned him on to sushi. And finally, Sydney Sweeney telling the Today Show that her dad had to walk out on her nude scenes during a promotional screening of the first episode of Euphoria. Apparently, even Dad needed to rub one out.
Oh, my God.
All right, we're going to see if we can find an answer to this question. You had to have been listening for the long haul this morning because it was at 6:40 a.m. that I gave a cute new nickname to Dr. Mike. What was it? And I will go to Leo to see if we can get the answer. Yo, Leo, good morning.
Hey, good morning, honey.
And he got his honey, yes. Honey or hun, or even sweetie. But Leo, you got it right. Hang on, bud. We are going to give you a $50 Rita's Italian Ice gift card, and you can head to Rita's for a 5-layer gelati, back for a limited time only, and you can enjoy your favorite ice flavors with an extra layer of creamy custard to build your own masterpiece.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Sequoia Outback. Make your deck or outside space a source of comfort and pride, and you can shop 4th of July sale at Sequoia Outback, Route 309 in Hatfield, or at decksupplies.com. I just mentioned that we have a Foo Fighters weekend here at MMR, and I have a Foo Fighters story to begin with. Dave Grohl took to Instagram to share an emotional letter to Foo Fighters fans after the band's first shows without Taylor Hawkins, who, of course, died last year at the age of 50. Dave wrote, now that we've all returned from our first run of shows, I felt compelled to reach out and thank you all for being there for us. Every night when I see you singing, it makes me sing harder. And when I see you screaming, it makes me scream louder. And when I see your tears, it brings me to tears. So obviously he's emotional. That's just a
What about when he sees them smile?
Baby, when I see you smile. John Mellencamp is back with his 25th album. We were just talking to Pierre. He went to the show over the weekend. He was in Philly and loved it. The album,
Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog.
or it's titled Orpheus Descending. That's the name of the album.
That's Latin for chili dog.
Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog.
And performing a career-spanning set list on the road. During a new chat with the New York Times, John touched on including his 1982 top 2 breakthrough hit, Hurt So Good, in his set list. He said, I quit playing it 25 years ago, but I've been playing it on this tour, and it has a whole new meaning to me. When I was a young boy, I said, put away those young boy ways.
Yeah.
And, he goes on to say, I'm getting older, so much older. I long for those young boy days. He said, when I was a kid when I wrote it, but as an older gentleman, it now makes sense to him. He also spoke about his wild early days on the road. He was known to be a hard ass.
Absolutely.
He was difficult to get along with.
And has gotten past most of that. Still retains a little bit of it.
Yeah, he's still got an attitude. But
I mean, the guy had like 50 heart attacks and never even knew it.
Yeah, but he talks about his violent streak that resulted in him being asked to leave tours that were headlined by Kiss, REO Speedwagon, Rainbow, and others. He admitted, I punched the blonde-haired singer of the Cars. That would have been Benjamin Orr.
Yeah.
And he said, I fought all the time and lost all the time. I got kicked off every tour I was on. My band and I were terrible, but we were better than Kiss. I was a young kid full of energy, and the review said John Cougar blew the place up last night, and Gene Simmons would look at me like he wanted to kill me.
I want to kill you.
There was
I want to strangle your chicken.
There was a record guy that I used to know back when I worked in St. Louis, and he was I forgot what record label it was for, but anyway, it was Mellencamp's label.
Right.
And he told me he and John would fight, and this dude was big. Fight by fight,
Like
I mean
physical.
No, like wrestle.
Oh,
okay. So John wanted to wrestle and just see if he could beat him.
I want to fight you.
This dude was way bigger than him.
I want to fight you.
And he told me the story of him, pinning John or whatever, not letting him up. And it pissed him off so bad that he was like literally saying, I'm going to effing kill you. Like, I want to. Like, he had this
chip on his shoulder.
This mean streak of sorts. But yeah, and I remember that story. He told me years and years and years ago. But
it's wild, though, because a guy who has that much of a chip on his shoulder, over his life, has written, I think, some of the most empathetic.
I agree.
Lonesome Jubilee is sensational.
Check it out, that song.
I mean, that ties into all sorts of feelings about friendships and
yeah.
Well, there you go.
It's kind
Get away from me.
I want to kiss you.
I want to kiss you.
I'll take you out back. I'll kiss all of you. Kiss you like the French girls kiss.
The two of you, the three of you.
Yeah, my tongue will go right down to your mid-abdomen.
Kiss all
Just
of
the three of us, four of us, me and you.
Yeah,
Kiss
the
it.
daisy chain, and then we'll roll over to make Gary Lauer happy.
Just me.
By myself, taking care of myself in the most vulgar of ways against your screen door.
All right. And then I have one final story. During the early days of writing the script for the 1983 movie War Games,
yes,
John Lennon was considered for the role of Stephen Falcon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who played Stephen Falcon?
Hang on. I've got it.
Character actor.
And the story, his name is John Wood.
Right. He's the...
Who, by the way, I did not know. Did you know he voiced
the
NORAD, the computer Whopper?
Whopper, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the voice of that.
Would you like to play a game? And so obviously they, tweaked his voice, but he was the guy who did the voice for that.
Would you like to play a game?
So this...
Would you like to play any kind of like backgammon?
Parcheesi?
Parcheesi.
This unique
Clue,
casting...
Stratego, Mousetrap.
This casting choice was discussed in a 2008 retrospective piece from Wired
Hungry Hippos.
that has recently resurfaced. Lawrence Lasker and Walter F. Parks, who were the film's screenplay writers, said they initially thought of casting Stephen Hawking
difficult
for the role of Falcon. However, the idea was nixed. This is not their reason, you may think. It was nixed by a superior because they didn't want the idea of a man in a wheelchair in a war room because it was too much like
Dr. Strangelove.
Yes.
That is fascinating. One of my favorite movies.
So
Did not know that.
Parks noted, we always pictured John Lennon because he was kind of a spiritual cousin to Stephen Hawking.
Now, didn't John Lennon go on to voice Johnny Five?
Maybe he did.
He's got nice software.
Uh,
I'm talking about your boobies.
Lasker said, we had communicated with Hawking, not directly, and through David Geffen, we'd communicated with John Lennon, and he was interested in the role. And he added, I was writing the first scene where we meet Hawking, or Falcon, in the movie, and he was an astrophysicist in our second draft. And I was staring at the cover of the November 80 issue of Esquire with Lennon on the cover and describing his face when a friend of mine called and said, you're going to have to find a new Falcon. The role of Falcon eventually went to John Wood, and like I said, he also voiced NORAD supercomputer Whopper.
They didn't even think of Ringo?
I didn't even think of Ringo.
You know
for
what?
a second.
I think Lennon might have been able to pull that off.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think he might have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Steve, I'll give you $100 right now if you can tell me who actually voiced Johnny Number 5.
Oh, wow. Is it anybody would know?
Well, he's a voice actor, and he's done other movies. He also did the Pug in Men in Black.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Frank the Pug.
Mm-hmm. All right, give me a second here.
How much money did you say you would give him? If you could say Tamblini?
He's known as an actor or more as a
Dude, Casey.
as a VO artist.
Casey just said his damn name.
Oh, you're looking it up?
No, he just said it because he was reading the computer screen that Preston can see.
Damn it! I was about to win money.
I was going to text him the name. If you
I
said it out loud. I was about ready to. Damn it! I had my phone out ready to go.
Who is it?
Tim Blaney.
Tim Blaney's.
Yeah.
I would imagine Nick's like a little kid in that he makes those bets, but he never actually pays up.
No, I would
There's a compliment.
Well, it's not.
I bet she never brings a woman to orgasm, too.
You calling him a welcher?
You know what? I realize that's a bigger deal for guys than it is for women, I think.
The not paying of the bet or the
Yeah, like to
orgasm
me,
thing?
I'm like, oh, another.
Did I ever
Both.
pay you the
Yes.
$100? Okay.
For Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yes.
You did, but I have not taken Kathy out to dinner yet for losing to Bucksco.
Bucksco versus Delco.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you guys, like
But
Nick
that's
just got
him.
offended. I did not mean to offend him at all. And
Nick totally honored that.
Casey owes me something, and I forgot about it and don't care.
Steve said the key word, honor. It's all about honor.
I guess.
You're only as good as
I have
you know,
no
your word.
honor.
You have no honor?
No.
I was going to write a check
wanna
to,
fight you.
to the MAC Fund. Maybe
I
I'll
wanna kiss you.
still write a check to the MAC Fund, Kathy, just to spite you.
I don't think you will.
You're probably right.
That's last story music
Nick,
news.
you earned you endorsed the Max Fund event at Mutiny, so you're good.
All right.
We are going to take a break.
Kathy owes me.
We're going to come back.
What do I owe you?
You laugh the hardest.
I just bought her a hummingbird helmet.
You do. Can we please use it soon?
I want to fight you.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second, and we will get the letter today, word of the week, prize, wrap it up, and do all that stuff. So stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
It's officially foo season, people.
Like, here we go again. Now, there was only one other incident, but
There's a lot of statues being
Still.
pulled down for various reasons, whether you had down south with the Confederate
Yes.
statues and things of that nature, and if they believe, well, there's it's kind of the thing, but this thing seemed like, what's that about?
why?
Hey, what did Rizzo do that was so great that he gets a statue?
He was just a really popular mayor. I mean, like he was larger than life in a bunch of different ways in stature.
Yeah.
And so because of his tactics, he was well known. He left his mark, good and bad, and deserved a statue as a result.
Yeah.
You're a real crumb bum.
And he gave us
Honestly, I would give him a statue just for that.
crumb bum.
I'll take you out back, bunches.
Yeah.
My arms tied behind my back.
Yeah.
I'll pound you into the pavement, I will.
That whole audio, you look like a lush to me. He's telling the reporter.
Would you care to talk to CBS? You look like a lush. I'll pound you into the pavement.
You want to relive that?
Yes, I do.
All right, Casey's finding the audio of Frank Rizzo when he was confronted. He wasn't happy about it. He was out walking his dog, and
Maybe the Viking was the Nordic Frank Rizzo.
They were confronting him about.
You look like a lush to me. What's your story? I hit you with my shield. I'll take you out back and hit you with my shield.
Yeah. What are you?
You're a crumb bum.
You can't find it, Case?
I don't know. Here, let's
Here
try
you go,
this one.
crumb bum.
Crumb bum, see Frank Rizzo.
It says Rizzo.
See crumb bum.
This says call Stan Bowman. Here we go.
Yeah, that's it.
There is a Stan Borman from Channel 3 News. Could we...
How are you?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Good.
Could we talk with you for just a moment?
No, I'm busy.
You couldn't answer any of our questions?
I wouldn't talk to you under any condition.
Why is that, sir?
Forget it. Scram. Get out of here.
Sir, I...
Hit the road.
Ram.
You lush ya. Why?
Stan,
Get away from me. I'm now a private citizen.
Yes,
You
sir.
get away from me.
We're allowed to be on the streets, sir.
I don't want to talk to you. Get away from me.
How do you feel about the security guards
Get
being
away
taken off
from
of you, sir?
Get away from me, or I'm going to throw you out in the middle of the street.
Gonna throw you right out there.
One more question.
I'm telling you, get away from me.
You were the symbol of law and order in Philadelphia, sir, for many years. People looked
Get
up to
away
you and
from
respected
me.
you.
Look, creep, get out of here.
How could you justify your actions at our cameras last Monday in front of your
Get
house?
out. You're a creep.
We're a member of the media. We'd like
You're
to have an answer to our question.
You're a creep.
Why did you attack our cameras, sir?
Get it all. Don't miss any of it. You're a creep. Get away from me.
Would you answer the question?
Dude, he had great pipes.
He really
Listen to his voice. Get away from me. He could do movie trailers.
This weekend at the Community Cinema Pucks.
You're a creep. Get away from me.
Would you answer the question?
You know, you hide behind that press card.
I'm not hiding behind anything, sir. I just wanted to get some answers.
I'll tell you what to do. There's a gang of yous here. There's enough of you here. By myself, I'll take yous physically.
Well, I'm not asking you to take me physically.
Well, get away from me.
Well, sir, I'm on the public street. I should be authorized to be here.
I'll break it off.
I'll break it off.
I'll break it
physically and mentally.
Yeah.
I'll get inside your brain.
This is after he was mayor.
Yeah.
You know, you'd think he'd be happy in retirement.
Nah, he didn't care.
Big dude, though.
Yeah.
You see him next to the reporter. He's a big dude.
Yep.
Hey, get away from me.
I think the statue. The statue is 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah.
I'll break it over your head.
I'll break it over your head. Hang on. Let's go back.
I'll break it over your head. Get away from me, you crumb. That's a challenge, except I'll put my dog away, and I'll come back. And you got 1, 2, 3, and I'll do
1,
it
2,
along
3.
with.
Follow me.
Yeah.
Let me just put Fifi back in the house. Come on, Fifi, heel.
It is kind of a little dog, right?
Yeah.
3.
No?
No.
I can't see the dog. Oh,
No,
no,
it's a
I was
big
wrong.
dog.
I was
Yeah.
incorrect. I thought he had a little poodle with him.
Daddy loves you.
Yeah.
Daddy loves
kisses.
you. Give me love monster kisses.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna come back and kill you all. Beat you to death with a tire iron and then dance in your blood. Who wants you to do? Who wants you to do? Gonna put you in the house now. All right, don't be scared. Daddy has to go kill the bad men. I'm coming to kill you now. Calm down. Did you lose your chew toy? Did you lose your chew toy? It's under the sofa. Yeah. Wait right here. Daddy needs to go kill the reporters. Yes, I know. Yeah. Get up in the living room window. You want to see Daddy kill the bad men?
Yeah, that's right. Sets him up where he's got a nice view of the street.
I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
2, 3, and I'll do it along with you. In that back of that fence, just the 3 of us, 4 of us, me and you.
4 or 5. I tell you what, call some of the family members. Bring them out here too.
Show you what kind of a man you are. You're less than a man.
You're a less man.
Okay, you're a crumb creep.
A crumb creep.
You're a moon creep pie creep crumb. You're creep brulee. That's what you are.
Creep brulee.
Yeah. As if someone's taken one of them little torches and fried the top of your head into like a caramelized sugary thing. You are creep brulee. You know what you like? You like one of them fancy desserts with the thin shell on top, but underneath you just pudding. Just pansy pudding, creep crumb, pansy crumb, creep creme, crumb, brulee creep creme. With sugar on top.
At this point, they've just shut up.
They just let them know.
Because they are like, we are getting gold right now. Just let this roll.
Put that on camera. You're a crumb bum, the 3 of you, and I challenge you.
He wouldn't talk earlier. I'm not talking to you, right? I'm not talking to you. And now, Stan Bowman hasn't said anything for like 5 minutes.
He actually fell asleep. What are you, Stan? Are you asleep?
Wake up.
I'm sorry, I had a long night. Where did your dog go? I put him inside, didn't you see? There he is, and they're looking in the window there.
Just me.
There is a
You're
out here.
a crumb creep coward. You can't take. You won't stand up to a man.
I'm standing up. We're not here to fight. We're here to get some answers to some questions. That's all.
I want to fight you.
Why is that?
Because you're a crumb creep lush coward.
You don't.
Crumb creep.
He keeps adding on.
Lush coward.
It started with 1, then 2,
And
now
you're a Methodist.
now he's up to
What?
he's up to 4.
I don't know. I'm running out of desserts and various disgusting things.
Are you keeping a list? Do you know,
yeah.
like, okay, you're a crumb, you're a creep.
Wait a second here.
You're yellow.
I keep a list for things like this. You are a jackass crumb, creme, creep, cram, crumb. Oh, that's the wrong list.
To our musical conclusion, Kryptonite on 93.3 WMMR. It is everything that rocks. 10:30. Exactly at this very moment in time on a Wednesday morning with Preston and Steve show. Today has been a fun day
And I hope you're hanging out with us for the majority of it. We had fun chit-chat and whatnot. And Karen
Bagels
Rogers.
and such?
Bagels and such. I used that line the other day. So when I rolled my ankle.
Oh, yeah.
We were at a graduation party and then we were going to go swing by our friend's house. And I was texting them. I'm going to need some ice. I'm on the way over. I rolled my ankle. And my buddy Will got back to me. He's like, do you need crutches, a cane, or a little scooter thing with a basket on it? And I wrote back for bagels and such. And he wouldn't have known what that meant at all. But it doesn't matter. I threw the line out there. That origin is from when Nick messed up his leg and he had, what was the scooter thing called?
Oh, man.
A rollabout?
Rollabout.
That was a wonderful little piece
And
of
it had a
equipment.
little basket on the front. And Nick said, I quote, for bagels and such. And it has been in our vocabulary ever since.
Oh, and by the way, he did use it for bagels and such.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I think Barkan had one of those for a stretch because he did something bad to his knee or his ankle.
Now his Achilles. He ruptured it.
That's right.
Getting out of the surf down the shore.
I honestly, like, if you have, it's great for bagels and such, but if you have a leg injury, it really was helpful in getting me around anywhere, and because you lose the ability to use your hands for anything because if you have to, use crutches all the time.
Yeah.
So that little scooter was very, very helpful.
You're using your crutches, so you can't hold the such.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no
crutches
such
and
whatsoever.
Maybe one bagel, but definitely no suches.
Right.
I want to thank Karen Rogers from 6ABC for coming on this morning. The fire and the smoke and all that stuff that's in our area. We just wanted to get a meteorologist take on what we can expect over the next couple of days. She said it might get a little worse today. It's going to be better tomorrow. And then we should be in the clear, but it's just strange, very strange phenomenon. And then we have Ray Didinger and actor Gordon Clapham. They were super awesome.
They were.
And Tommy and Me is the show that Ray wrote about Tommy McDonald, Eagles great. Gordon is portraying him in a stage show at the Bucks County Playhouse, and it runs now through June 17th. And I was told by our friend Charlotte from the Bucks County Playhouse that Ray was very excited to come by here today.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you guys wanted to meet him for sure.
No doubt. No,
He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer.
A worldly known good guy.
NFL Hall of Famer and worldly known good guy. So it was cool to have those guys by here today. Reminder, Academy Park High School, you guys are the ones who are voting. We draw for coolest teacher. After we find out who that is, we draw one more name and then we're done for the year.
That's it.
I know. I wish we could do it longer, but
we've had a couple of times where we ran it and school was
way out of session.
Yeah.
So
the janitor would vote.
Yeah. One of my favorite memories of growing up is I had a baseball game at Academy Park High School, and the kid on my team, I've never in my entire life saw a child mouth off to an umpire like this kid did. And the things that he was saying to this umpire, and the umpire kicked him out. And as he was walking out, Steve, like your father, you said your father would, he had like the great lexicon, the King's English with all the curses.
Cursing,
This kid, I was like, where did he learn all this stuff? It was amazing.
Wow. All right. So Academy Park High School, you guys vote today. Pierre Robert is here. Hey, man.
Well, good day. You were just talking in the last segment about betting amongst yourselves.
Yes.
And, members of the show, particularly Nick, and would he... Welsh pay up on his bets.
Did I welch on something with you?
I would call it a Nick tease.
Oh, man.
And I say it with love,
of course, yeah.
But one time, I'm playing a block of U2.
Oh, Jesus.
And
You know what it is?
I get, and the texting screen just gives you phone numbers. It doesn't give your names, but some people, I don't put their name into my phone, so I purposely remember their name or their number. Like we did when we were kids.
Yeah.
And so Nick is one of those. I have his number by heart. A few other people in my life, I don't put their name in, so I remember their number, keeping active with the numbers. So I see the obvious number of Mr. McElwain, and he goes, if you play, I don't remember what the song was.
Is it either Elevation or Walk On?
All right, either one.
Yeah.
If you play Elevation or Walk On, I will show you my gadget. I will send you a picture of my gadget.
Are you serious?
I am absolutely serious. And it may be...
buddy.
It may be the fastest I've ever gotten a request on in my life. I was going for the third song, and I go, no, we're making a left turn.
Oh, no.
And then I played it. He was thrilled, and...
Nothing.
A Nick tease.
How long ago was this?
17
By the way, I love
years
that
ago.
term, and Nick tease.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. 7 years ago?
17.
17 years ago?
27.
And it's grown
37.
since then.
I'm a grower.
Not a shower.
Yeah, I never got the showing or the growing. But then I reminded him of it once, and into my file came a porn star gadget.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
go,
the default.
Yeah. So there you go.
Did that mollify you, or are you still waiting for the authentic article?
I think some things are better left undone.
All right.
True.
Well, you know what? I'm going out for drinks on Friday night, so text me then.
Because if Nick has more than 2 light beers, he will make out with me. So
light beers.
I got that.
2 glasses of Chardonnay.
I got that going for me. All right, and I again say it with love.
Yeah, nothing but love, man.
There's your Nick tease for you.
One time you were doing drunk day, and he was the drunkard, and I came in, and you had a full studio audience. There had to be 25 people and maybe 30 people lined up against the walls, listeners, and he goes, "Oh my God, I love you," and came right over and kissed me. And the audience, you weren't on, but the audience was shocked. You could hear this gasp. I go, "It's just a make out."
Yeah, I'm still waiting on his D-pick.
Yeah. Matter of time.
Here, the moral of the story is: don't be a Nick tease.
All right.
Yeah.
And also, I like Nick pick, too.
Yes.
That can work as well.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of things that we can fill that in
You
with.
could pick songs, Nick's picks.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, how about we do the letter of the day, my man?
Yo, Nick.
All right.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, and the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter.
D is in Dick.
All right.
Yeah,
well, there it
it's a
is.
proper name.
It's a version of Richard.
As in Richard.
Yeah. And we have
The
a
abbreviation of Richard.
Yeah.
We have a Piezeek round barbecue and fire pit kit from Landis Block. Landis Block, start imagining your own backyard paradise by looking at the photo gallery online at landisbc.com.
Richard.
All right, what's coming up today?
It was fun.
Yeah, it
I really
was.
like that. All right.
There's going to be a new morning show and afternoon show tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We've got more Dead and Company tickets for next Thursday. We've got a big show at the Big Joint tonight. Bryan Adams is back in town. You were talking about John Mellencamp. And Bryan Adams is another one of those that's got song after song after song.
Yes.
He will headline tonight, and the Great Joan Jett is opening. So we'll do blocks of both those bands. And we'll get into a block of Queen, and we're going to get Bicycle Race on. And Marcus is going to join us to talk about the upcoming bicycle event, the Bike Ride for Cancer, which he has championed for all these years as captain of Team MMR. So that's probably around 125. Marcus will join us. We'll do a 1 o'clock block of Queen.
Excellent.
Wonderful. All right. I'm going to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Duncan. Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. And also brought to you by Meineke for tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust systems, and more. Meineke, doing car care right. Tomorrow on a program, we will have comedian Ian Bagg joining us.
Nice.
Which is excellent. And like I said, we'll get our last coolest teacher choice out of the jar of goodness, and we'll see what else we can get into. So that's it. We're done. Rage on and have a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow, my friend. Bye-bye.